Throughout my life, I'd pretty much been arrested pretty much every year for something. And it was no different in the teens. That's like, I got arrested in SQT. I come back from Yemen, get arrested again downtown, drunk at Publix, being drunk and stupid. And so the team gave me vacation to go to jail. So I took vacation and I did 3 weeks in Ada County jail as an active duty. The bailiffs wouldn't put me in handcuffs. I didn't even wait. They said, do you want us to call anybody? I said, call SEAL Team 7. The interview process in the selection legion is the most important. Every interview. That's like, why is the Navy SEAL fucking here? You know, they don't want issues with the United States government. And so I explained, I could lean into the truth. I'm like, my fucking ruined my whole life and I need a second chance. Now I'm doing shoot, move, communicate with guys who've never even been in the military after doing halos and shit. It was like a baptism in humility.
Welcome to Mic Drop, the podcast where relevancy is irrelevant and we don't give a shit about your feelings.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's both an honor and a pleasure to welcome my next guest to the podcast. He spent 7 years on active duty in the SEAL teams with Team 7 Echo Platoon. He's a JTAC and sniper and went to Yemen and Iraq. Then coincidentally transferred over into the French Foreign Legion and did a couple of deployments there with French Guyana and Estonia. He spent 4.5 years doing that, which, to my knowledge, are you the first team guy to go over there, or have there been other ones?
Man, I've heard some rumors there was an old school Master Chief from like the Nam era, but I don't know.
Yeah, so
definitely not recent times.
It's wild shit. He does have a book coming out called The Hard Way, which is going to be in the spring time frame, so we're excited to see about that. And if ever there was a Spec Ops romance novel cover model, he is it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Taylor Cavanaugh.
Hey, Mike, thanks for that.
Yeah,
appreciate that, man.
Hey, if the shoe fits, right? I'm not the guy on that book cover, I can tell you that. But what's the last full book that you've read?
Last full book was Holiday's book on ego.
Yeah?
Yeah, Ryan Holiday.
What's the biggest takeaway from that?
You know what? I didn't fully buy into it because I don't think ego is necessarily the worst thing. I mean, it's been dangerous in my life for sure, but I think it's this necessary evil that propels us. It's why guys, you don't want to join the military. You want to be a team guy. You know, there's that. Why is that? There's a little ego involved in that. But always good takeaways is as you get that success, you got to check yourself or you will fucking crash and burn. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened to me.
Is that kind of the gist of his book, is that's the root of all evil? Like, does he go overboard with it?
I felt like it was a little heavy-handed, that was what it was.
Yeah. What's the best vacation that you've taken?
Man. You know what? I really liked Costa Rica, man.
Really?
With another team guy. His parents have a place down there. Yeah. And, man, I like the jungle, man.
Really?
Yeah, the jungle calls to me.
Well, I'll tell you, that makes the one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like that kind of humidity. I hate it. I can't get away from it fast enough. What's the most memorable tradition that you had growing up?
Holidays were always really nice. My mom and aunts and grandmas, Thanksgiving, that Italian side. So the food was always good. I have very good, wholesome memories of Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving. So
yeah, that whole stretch.
Yeah.
Have a favorite childhood game that you played? That's from my daughter, by the way. That was her question.
Childhood game, man, dude. Anything outside. Yeah. Because, man, dude, I grew up in the late '80s. It wasn't. That was what was going on, man. We're riding bikes. We weren't in the house on the fucking iPad, dude.
That's the truth, man. Times have changed, no doubt about it. What's your normal morning routine on a day where you're not on a training trip or whatever, you're in town? Man,
my morning routine isn't even routine. I call it a process. That's a huge thing I promote is I get up at 2:15 in the morning.
Jesus.
Every single morning. I don't take a day off, and I go right into a system of a little coffee, a little quiet, no phone, no inputs. Then I go right into some Mike Tyson push-ups, just kind of raise that vibration, and then I go into some active visualization for about 15 minutes.
So all totaled, from the time you get up until your process is over, how long is that?
That takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I roll into just some work and normal stuff when I just need the quiet, man.
At 3:15. So I mean, by the time you're done with your morning shit, it's 3:30.
Yeah, I eat something light, some quick burning carbs because I try to be in the gym by like 6.
Yeah. And then when does your day start? Like work wise?
Well, at the regiment, it's a little bit different, right? In the Foreign Legion, but I'm still getting up earlier than everybody, working out in the bathroom and stuff. But a Pell call in the Foreign Legion is at 5:36. Yeah. So you're
up before then.
Mustering up. Yeah, you're mustering up and you're lined up at 6.
Well, I mean, we're going to dive fucking head first into all that. But all right, so kind of going into your childhood growing up, you were born in Boston, but you're from San Diego.
Yeah, I was born in like Beverly, Mass, but kind of Gloucester area is where my family's from. And then my pops was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, no shit.
So he was, there was an old Chinook base in like Tustin area, Orange. And so we lived on that Marine base in the late 80s. And I think it's condos now.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
And so that brought us, and then he got out, 6 in and out, and then we stayed in San Diego.
Yeah. How old were you when you moved from Boston to San Diego?
Man, I mean, all my kindergarten through high school, I was in San Diego.
I gotcha. Are you half Irish, half Italian? Is that
pretty much? Yeah.
That's like the Boston, New York mix.
Yeah.
It's like you got an internal conflict going on almost. So growing up in San Diego, I mean, I was out there in '97. Was when I first got out there, and holy shit, a lot has changed since then. But what was it like growing up there?
Man, it was cool because I grew up right near the stadium, old Jack Murphy Stadium up on the hill, and we used to ride our bikes down to Mission Valley, and we would just ride jumps and stuff. There was no condos. They were just starting to build. There was like the little strip mall, but it was wild because you could go into crawdad fishing in the canyons and shit. It was just a little bit more spread out.
Yeah.
It was great though, man.
Do you have siblings and parents still work together the whole time, or?
No, they had a tumultuous relationship.
Yeah.
Right. My dad, he'd be the first to admit it, had some struggles with alcohol and things like that. And it was some explosive things. And so he in and out kind of, but they were married off and on for about 16 years.
Yeah.
And then it broke off later. And I have a younger sister.
Okay. So just you and her, the
Yep.
only kids.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play any sports growing up?
I did, man. We were, sports were the thing year round. So growing up, it was soccer, swimming, and then I got into American, football and baseball. Yeah. And then into high school, I just cut it to lacrosse and football.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't realize, lacrosse where I grew up didn't exist. It probably still doesn't. We didn't even have a soccer team when I was in high school. But was lacrosse and is lacrosse big in Southern California?
No, you're from Iowa, right? You grew up in, man, yeah, they're just wrestling out there, right?
Yeah, wrestling and football, but wrestling for sure is the biggest sport in Iowa. Yeah.
Well, I went to Poway High School, and wrestling was what it was at that high school. But lacrosse was the first year that it started to kind of get big and get formalized.
Yeah, so, I still don't get it as a sport.
Man, it's fucking violent.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's actually a great spectator sport too. If you kind of it's fluid.
Yeah, well, I wonder why it's not more popular then.
It's a good question. I don't know. Yeah.
Football just kind of has everything by the balls in this country.
Damn straight.
Yeah. Did you play football in high? You said you played.
Yeah, I did.
What did you play?
Outside linebacker.
Yeah, of course you did. Were you like in high school? Were you a bigger guy or?
Yeah, I was always about 200, about the same.
In high school?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Man, were you just fucking leveling people in football or
Man,
what?
I laid the hat, bro. They used to call me the hammer, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are the two key components for canine success? That's effective training and proper nutrition. Fueled by Team Dog brings those two components to your family and best friend. The perfect nutritional balance that results in a higher mental acuity, energy, overall vitality, and even an improved appearance. Every product you will find in my company's store was born from the battlefield and not from the boardroom. Let my life's work help you become your dog's hero.
Did you ever have in terms of your thought process of post high school, were there ambitions to go play college football and go beyond that? Or?
Yeah. So that was the game plan, was to go play dual sport, because I actually had a lot more accolades for lacrosse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I was getting some heavy looks coming out of junior year. And then I get kicked out of high school for marijuana possession and some fights and stuff right after. So that, poof, all those opportunities kind of dissipated. But my whole thing was I was going to play in college. I was looking at Naval Academy and stuff before I fucked that up. My grandfather was a captain in the Navy, Naval Academy. But I was going in the military. I knew it. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL from the time I was 7.
What was the catalyst for that? Like when
I remember the moment it happened. I was 7 years old. It was 1992, man, October. And I'm standing on this hill with my dad looking into the bay from Point Loma. And I saw glow lights in the bay. And I asked him what it was. And he told me there's SEALs training in the bay. I know now as SQT students, you know, but from that moment on, it was, I mean, I could not get enough information.
Really?
Men with green faces. I was in Blockbuster getting the VHS tapes and all that Vietnam era commando stuff really was like, I couldn't get enough.
Did you ever go and watch any of the like July 4th demos growing up there?
We used to just do the aviation one kind of at Miramar.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know when they started. I mean, I remember being a part of it in the late 90s, but on the 4th of July, the SEALs would always do these big demonstrations with fucking helos fast open. And like we would dive. One of the years I was one of the divers. It was pretty cool because like you're going to Glorietta Bay on dragers, right? And you go and before everybody gets there kind of thing, or you know, while people are kind of funneling in, we would dive in and just hang out in like 4 feet of water, like with this huge crowd. Had no idea we were there, and then all of a sudden, like in the middle of the demo, like when shit's blowing up, and like we'd just fucking come up out of the water, and people would be like, "What the fuck?" You know?
That's some swag points.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You know, and fast rope in and jumping in, and you know, fucking ribs coming in with blanks, lighting the beach up. It was pretty awesome, honestly. They stopped doing it. I think right after 9/11 for security concerns, they didn't want people, you know, coming up because that'd be a juicy fucking target. A bunch of team guys without real weapons, or without loaded real weapons. But anyway, so all right. So back to that catalyst. Was there a conflict with deciding whether or not you wanted to be a SEAL or play football, or was that kind of the goal, is to go to the academy, play sports, and be a SEAL, like to do both?
It was just assumed. College was the thing. It was. I looked at it as an extension of high school, and I lacked self-awareness on a massive scale. Like Iraq was kicking off and shit at this time, right? I was getting out in 03, and so I didn't even view the military as an option yet. It was college. Like that's all it was, you know. So the high school I went to in Poway, 99% of the kids went to college after, you know. So it was not really on my radar. I was like, okay, after.
Yeah. So you get rolled up with fucking weed and get in fights. You get booted from high school. Where did you go after that?
I graduated from the high school next to me, Rancho Bernardo. Yeah. But I wasn't allowed to play senior year lacrosse. That was the rule.
Oh, okay. Did you play football?
No, because I finished my senior year of football.
Oh, I got you.
And then
so eligibility
next day. Yeah.
All right. So you graduate from Rancho Bernardo. Then what?
So I was kind of grabbing for straws. Small Division III school kind of was like, hey, you can two-sport here. It was in Orange County, I think Chapman University. I went up there, failed out first semester. I mean, and we got in a huge car accident that 4th of July weekend coming back from the river, and we rolled a lifted Tundra, and I ejected out of one of the windows on the freeway. And
no seatbelt, I assume?
No, and I just ejected out one of the windows, and I woke up in the desert and with a paramedic on me, and I had dislocated my hip, cracked my ribs, but I walked out of the fucking hospital 3 days later. They had to put my hip back in and all that.
Did anybody die?
No, but two of the guys in had to get all skin graft, and because they had seatbelts on, but we rolled the fuck out of that thing.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, so I wasn't setting myself up for success going into college, and then I came back. Went to some junior colleges, tried to get back, but man, I started doing drugs, selling drugs, doing all the wrong stuff, and then I just kind of had a moment of clarity, and then I moved back to Boston.
So the time frame, this is what, like 04, 05?
Exactly, it was 04.
Yeah.
Yep.
What drugs were you doing and selling?
Man, it was like ecstasy at the time, you know, and just living wrong, smoking weed, taking muscle relaxers, and lost, man, completely lost, no direction at all.
Yeah.
Yep. And finally I called my dad. I said, hey man, I got to get out of here. just woke up one morning. It's October 11th, 2004, and it was raining. And I remember this homeless guy, this homeless guy had said to me one time, and he said, "Hey, you know what rain means? Change." Maybe he was asking me for fucking change. I thought about it later, but then that just rang true to me. I was like, I got to get out of here. So I just popped chalks and then moved into the basement of my aunt and uncle's house in Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Did you, were you working?
So I immediately got there, started working landscaping and resetting, and then started training Muay Thai, then started going to the gym, then started going to junior college, and then just blasted out great grades for like a year and a half and got my credits back up, and then transferred back to University of California, Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay. Did you finish there?
I did. I got a degree in politics and international relations from UC Santa Cruz.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Could you, or did you play any sports there?
Matt, no, I probably could have, but I started doing jiu-jitsu and just got a subluxation of the patella, and it just destroyed my knee. Yeah. Started taking painkillers, and then that whole period in all the discipline I had gained when I was back east, isolated, separated, all went away. Man. And so I was arrested probably 8 or 9 times during that period of college when I was graduating. Oh, shit. And so I had a mountain of administration hurdles to get into the military.
What were the arrests for?
Nothing. It was being a knucklehead. It was drunk in public, disturbing the peace, fucking DUI, driving on a suspended, possession. It was all these small little things just stacked up.
Yeah. So once you graduated, at that point, were you still hell bent on becoming a team guy? Was that always something?
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it was. Looking back, the two things don't match up, right?
Yeah, pretty conflicting. Yeah. Sure. Fucking walking contradiction.
Yeah.
Well, so you walk into a recruiter, were you like, motherfucker, you got your work cut out for you?
I walked into this is why I wanted to be a SEAL, but I was terrified of Hayes grade and underway. Yeah. That was because I grew up in San Diego. I knew all-American wrestlers and shit. Nobody made it. Yeah. And everybody was scraping barnacles in the Navy. And so I was like real scared, real terrified of that. Yeah. So I went into the Marine recruiter first. I was like, they'll give me a gun and let me Charlie Mike. And he's like, dude, you're on probation, man. And he's like, you have pending court cases. And I was like, oh, that's a thing? We can't just like sweep that under the rug? And that's when I have this moment where I go, oh, this is like a real life. I have to take care of this. Yeah. So I ended up having to get a lawyer, get a judge and I went to jail for 4 months in Santa Cruz County right when I graduated to commute my probation. He was like 180 days in jail. I was like, okay. But I ended up doing 120. So I served. Shit. Yeah.
How was that?
Man, dude, I'll tell you what.
It's county jail, right?
Which is actually kind of, I didn't see the sun for 4 months because you don't get yard time and stuff. And we were just lockdown facility. So it's sad, man, what drugs and alcohol and amphetamines specifically do to people's lives. And then I was having to, small story in there, I had to ask for a volunteer. And I go, okay, because if you volunteer, then the guards would let you go eat in their chow hall, and they give you like a hamburger or something real. So I was always volunteering. And we go in and I have to clean this guy, had painted shit all over this cell. Yeah. And he's yelling about how gangster he is. He stole a car and this and that. And the guy I'm working with is just getting pissed because he's going to have to clean it with me. And he looks at the guy and bangs on the glass. He goes, hey, motherfucker, poop hating ain't gangster. I remember thinking, I'm like, man, I've made some mistakes in what am I doing here, man?
Fuck, man. I mean, was it scary being in there in terms of like people fucking with you? Or
it was fine. Man, it's like anywhere else. As long as you just set the tone and you're good. We had a couple little issues, but everybody was kind of on their own program. If you get on that good program, I was just doing push-ups and dips and just kind of like, and I volunteered to work for the jail. So I was gone 8 hours in the day doing jail laundry. Yeah. And I could just write and read and kind of be about myself. It was actually right when Obama got, so you were getting out right at that same time. I remember sitting there when it happened. I was in jail laundry that day he got elected.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, that's wild. So, all right. So you spend 4 months in jail. Once you got out, then did you go back to the Marine recruiter?
I went right back to the Marine officer recruiter. I don't know. I was shooting for the stars. And they said, okay, we got to take pictures of your tattoos. And I didn't have my arms and stuff Really, I had a little bit on the shoulders, but my whole back and some of my legs. And they took pictures and they sent it up to some guy, and he came back and he was like,
No shit.
nope. Not only no, you can't, we won't even take you into any Marine Corps. They put me on a hold for nationwide. I couldn't even enlist. So
That's so dumb.
I was like, oh, okay, well, that Army will take me. I'll go Army or some special program. And they did a background check on me and they said, no way, you can't even enlist. That's when I was like, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? Started kind of seeing the French Foreign Legion. That's where that started to come on my radar. But I had student loans with my mom, had co-signed. I couldn't just pop chalks. So I licked my wounds for about a day, and then that higher consciousness or whatever came into me and said, go to the Navy recruiter, write down what you have. And it wasn't anything bad. All the dispositions were clear. It was just misdemeanors, but it was a lot of them. And I strategically, kind of and the guy said, we can work with this, but you can be a SEAL if you pass all the shit, or turd wrangler. There's no like in between jobs you can do. Yeah.
Man, that's fucking wild. Well, so, I mean, as a 7-year-old, the SEAL teams being kind of your big dream, why did that end up being the last choice once you got
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear. Yeah. I didn't think I could make it, man. Cause the running and stuff, I'm not a good runner. And coming out of jail, man, I was like 230, man. And so I tried to do a run and I couldn't even make a half mile.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is going to be a mountain to climb up. And I was just really scared that I wasn't going to fucking make it. I knew it was hard as shit. Yeah. And it was.
Yeah, I know it. All right. So you go to the Navy, they end up taking you.
Yeah. But it was not just like, hey, come in. I had to get a lot of waivers. And so I started in this. The MEPS was stressful, to say the least. I had a lot of holes in my game. Strategic answers, not saying lie, but strategic answering. And then I could start taking that PST, getting racked on that. So I took it every week, man, for 9 months. I would go down to and then I started training at the Naval Amphibious Base with the boat crew there, with the retired lieutenant commander, and then an active duty senior chief. And that was massive, running in the mountain. I was puking every day, but I lost 40 pounds in like 6 weeks, just crushing it. And I just stayed going every day. And then my scores started to get elevated. And the next thing I know, I'm like racked at the top. And 9 months later, I get my contract.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
How old are you at this time?
So I'm 23. So I was turned 24, like pretty much the day they gave me my SEAL Challenge contract to go to boot camp on that SEAL contract.
So you go in. At that time, was boot camp all SEAL candidates in your class?
That was, yeah. So exactly, we had 100 guys that were just all on that SEAL Challenge contract.
I mean, what was that like? Because when I came in, it wasn't that way. It was like there were of every division there was a handful of people that that had their SEAL contracts mixed in with everybody else. So it was like most of the fucking division that you were with were going to do, fucking who knows what. So obviously that's all you have to compare it to. But what was that like being in a group of all dudes going? I mean, was it?
Man, it was great.
Yeah.
We had a good group. Just to kind of give it, 9 guys made it out of that 100.
Yeah.
And 5 of those guys are still operating at the tip of the spear.
No shit.
Right now.
That's cool.
So that was like, I think we had a particularly good group. And I was still friends with all those guys today. And I was grateful. But those petty officers, because they were just fleet guys, they beat the shit out of us, man. They're like, we got all these guys. They some of the worst beatings I ever got were in that. Yeah, for
That's
real.
Interesting.
Yeah, they didn't know the governor. They didn't know how much they should be pushing it, I think.
That's a trip. I didn't even think about that because, I mean, when I was going through, it was a fucking joke, because
But it was great because they trained us.
Yeah.
So we were swimming every morning. We were actually working out pretty hard.
Of the entire 100, how many actually made it to buds? Most of them?
That's a good question. Probably about 40.
Really? So
Yeah, 50.
Was that much attrition even?
Yeah, it just, those nickel and dimes, just one guy leaves, one guy decides. It was just that short.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you show up. What class were you in?
2 buds?
Yeah.
284.
284. Anything stick out in buds other than it was as hard as you thought it was going to be? Was there any other impactful moments that really stand out?
Man, I thought it was way harder.
Really?
I thought it was way fucking harder. I had no idea how painful like a boat on the head was going to be. That was so shockingly hard to me. And the run, I mean, I passed every run by like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I was stressed, and the O course was not much better. So I had some stress going in, but there's those magical moments too. You know, you're out there in the water with your swim buddy, and the swimming's okay for me. That was like a break. I'm good in the water. But I had a foot problem coming in. That was probably the biggest issue. I had MRSA on my feet after the first week, and I couldn't even get my feet in my boots. Yeah. And I had a moment where I was like, I don't know if I can do this, man. Like, I can't go to medical because that's where all the guys that quit go. And my buddy, who was the LPO of the class, he said, dude, you've got to go to medical. And he just kind of stopped me. And him saying that probably saved my whole career. Who knows? I went, they put some juice on me, it was a Friday, so they let me soak. And lo and behold, it was like a miracle. By that Monday, I never went back to the doctor, and I put sock liners on and got a bigger boot. That was the issue, and never had a problem after that. But the instructors we had, I think, are legit. Everyone says their buds class was hard, their first phase. Man, but we had Gallagher and Capone, and were my first phase instructors, man. So like we were getting it. Yeah. It's like, that's a fucking trip. Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, I spent a little bit of time there the last, few years I was in. I was gone by your class, obviously, but man, that's cool to hear. I mean, to me, one of the biggest question marks and I think travesties that tends to exist is the degradation of standards.
Oh, man, it hurts my soul.
Yeah, but I do think, or at least I hope, that the one thing that I noticed, even different administrations, societally, as things kind of went softer and softer, like the crew of sled dogs that were actually doing the fucking training were still the gatekeepers and felt like they were and really put that time into making sure that the standards remain the same, even if they weren't quite the same on paper.
And I think it will always be like that.
Yeah, I hope so. Fuck, man.
It has to be.
Yeah. All right. So did you make it straight through with 284?
I did.
Yeah. And then you went straight to Team 7 after that.
Yep. So went all the way through SQT with 284, and then right to Team 7. We had a little language thing, a little Arabic requirement in between that. But yeah, 7.
Yeah. And what was checking into 7 expectation versus reality?
Man, I was so happy to be there.
Yeah.
It was exactly where I wanted to be. Just coming into that cage, coming into the locker. I remember a senior chief telling me, he goes, you're going to have that moment when you get to your cage and you're like, I fucking finally made it here. And that's what it felt like. I was so happy. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Yeah. And it was like, I was there working and I was happy. And that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to 7. And so it felt like this divine wave.
Yeah. I don't want to get totally into, the contrast, but just kind of a simple answer. When you compare the selection for Foreign Legion versus the pipeline at Buds.
Buds is a whole nother animal.
Yeah. So way harder.
Oh yeah.
Way harder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good to hear.
It's not even close.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. We'll definitely get into that, but that's interesting. All right. So you're at Team 7. You did a couple deployments there, right?
Yep.
But you were JTAC qualified, you got sniper, which, did you get that early on?
Man, I got that as a new guy.
That's fucking
I hit a weird wave because the guys were coming back from Afghanistan for 11 months. And so there was nobody around to do a comm school. And so I volunteered. They were going to send the new guys to go to vacation. I was like, I'll stay and go to comm school. I wanted to be there, man. I was ready. So I go to comm school, I come back, and it's like January 1st time-ish. And the guys are still from Afghanistan. We're still on vacation. They go, we need a comms guy to go to JTAC. You want to go? And I said, absolutely. So I went on January 1st, went to JTAC. I came back and they go, hey, we need a comms JTAC to go to sniper. Dead serious. Sure. And I was like, yeah. So we did a shoot off, and that caused some friction with the older guys coming back from AFG. And they're like, this fucking, so it was what it was, but we did the shoot off and it worked out well.
Did you shoot growing up at all? Did your dad teach you how to shoot?
Really? No, man. I was a city boy.
Just natural aptitude?
Man, I'm not a great shot. There's definitely better shots, but I'm like that front end of the bell curve. I can always, I'm that 85% guy.
Yeah, that's a trip, dude. Yeah. What a lucky string of events.
Man, and I really felt like I was grateful for it too. Yeah. I was so happy, man.
Yeah, that's wild. Now is the time to get your financial house in order. If you wait to pay down credit card balances, you may regret it. Your debt's getting more expensive. The minimum monthly payments are going to get harder and harder to make. Homeowners, you have an opportunity to turn this around by using your home's equity to pay off that debt. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants will help you consolidate that debt into one payment. They're saving homeowners an average of $700 a month. What are you waiting for? You have time right now to call American Financing. It just takes 10 minutes. Costs absolutely nothing to get started. They'll review all your debt and show you how much you can save every month. Your monthly expenses are not going to decrease, and the government isn't going to help you. You have to help you. Make the call today. You owe it to yourself. American Financing. Call today, 866-890-9313. That's 866-890-9313. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net. We all have busy lives these days and can't afford to waste a day stuck on the couch because of a few drinks the night before. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol is the answer we've all been looking for. How do you use it? Step 1, have a Z-Biotics. For the best result, make Z-Biotics your first drink of the night. Step 2, drink responsibly. Pace yourself, hydrate, and get a good night's sleep. Step 3, enjoy tomorrow. Wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make Z-Biotics pre-alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. I don't drink a lot. In fact, I rarely do it. It's usually a special occasion. Because of that, it usually affects me pretty negatively with the exception of using this, and this is why I'm a big fan of this product. If I got family coming into town for Christmas, etc., I like to have a few drinks with them. What I don't like is how it makes me feel. Z-Biotics has managed to save my ass more than once as far as that goes, and I can't recommend this stuff enough. This holiday season, give your friends and family a gift they will actually want to use with Z-Biotics. Go to zbiotics.com/MicDrop, all caps, all one word, to get 15% off your first order when you use MicDrop at checkout. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, head to zbiotics.com/MicDrop and use the code MicDrop at checkout for 15% off. I want to thank Z-Biotics for sponsoring this episode and our good times. Whether you're on active duty or retired U.S. military veteran, you probably remember being issued a pair of Wiley X protective eyewear. As a veteran myself, I had a pair of Wiley X glasses that did an amazing job protecting my sight out in the field while I did my job protecting our country. But the reason they work as well as they do isn't an accident. Family owned and based in the United States, Wiley X was founded 36 years ago by U.S. Army vet Miles Freeman Sr. Wiley X truly understands the unique needs of men and women who work and serve in life's harshest environments, and that's why they spare no effort in making the best protective eyewear on the market. In fact, all Wiley X eyewear is tested to meet the most rigorous testing standards for safety and optical clarity, allowing you to work and experience life to its fullest. But you don't have to be a U.S. service member or work in unforgiving environments to get a pair for yourself. Whether it's the great outdoors, hunting, fishing, shooting, working around the house, or putting in an honest day's work on the job, Wiley X has you covered. If you believe in protecting what matters, stock up this holiday season at wileyx.com. Wiley X, protection for life. Your time at Team 7, the first deployment, we'll say, was it to Yemen or to Iraq?
Yemen.
Yeah. What was that like?
Growing a beard and getting weird. We were out there, man, because they were only letting like 8 or 9 guys in, and I was stoked, man, because even though it wasn't hot, we were away from the flag pole. I was growing out a beard. They were giving us a card to buy Arc'teryx stuff to go, and so we were doing security for the ambassador and kind of some FID with the counterterrorism unit and building out the base and doing it. Man, I was stoked, man, just to be working.
Yeah. Were there any close calls or any things that happened that almost got squirrely or did get squirrely while you were there?
Man, we had the Houthis ended up overrunning that base. a couple years later. So there were some issues with, they didn't know what was kind of in the village next to us and the September 11th stuff, and nothing crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
7 months.
7 months. Mm-hmm. So you come back from that, and then how long were you home before you went to Iraq?
18 months. It was like a hard 18.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now going to Iraq, what year was that?
So some things happened in between there.
Oh, okay.
Because on the off the field side, because I got back, and throughout my life I'd pretty much been arrested pretty much every year for something, and it was no different in the teams. That's like, I got arrested in SQT once down in PB, got brushed under the cop, just kind of let it brush under the. Okay, I come back from Yemen, get arrested again downtown, kind of gets brushed under the rug, and then Now I'm going into 2014 and I'm hitting this good clip. I'm all this, and I got this, I'm getting a little ahead of my skis.
What were those 2 arrests for before you talk about
Drunk at Publix.
Yeah. Right.
Just being fucking drunk and stupid.
Yeah.
Not like causing a problem, but just like stumbling home. And the cop's like, what the fuck are you doing,
Yeah.
And I hit a guy in a bar in Idaho on a JTAC trip. And that caused a cascade of shit that it took me years to get out of. So they got me aggravated assault, grave bodily injury. I was the plea deal I had was 6 years in prison plus 3. So I'm having lawyers. They send representation up from the command. It's a fucking thing. And
what happened? Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, I'm walking out of a bar, and the tension of a guy, he said something, and I hit him.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it happened one time, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
And that's I learned the hard way. I should have learned more. But so I'm on bail, technically. Another team guy bailed me out. So this was pretty cool. But I get a good lawyer, do that whole thing. The team writes a letter. Hey, we're coming up on Iraq. And the court approves it, lets me go to Iraq while I'm on bail.
Oh, shit.
So I'm on bail for a felony case. I go to Iraq, but I have to come back with this felony case over my head with 6 + 3, and I might be just losing everything. So I'm in Iraq with that on my head.
Yeah.
And that was a dark deployment for me, just psychologically, because I was straight up was like, man, what if I just stay here and join the Peshmerga? I thought about it, man, dead serious. So I was like, I don't want to go back and deal with this. And that's kind of what was leading up into that Iraq piece.
Did you get the sense that the command, I mean, it sounds like they did from how they handled it, but did you get the sense that they had your back?
Man, the command, I cannot say good enough stuff about how Team 7 was with me, even all the way through when I ended up fucking up majorly a year later. I got nothing but good things to say. Like, the Master Chief's got my back. The CO had my back. They tried to protect me as much from Big Navy, but I didn't leave them in much ground to stand on at the end of the day.
So you go to Iraq. What year was that?
2015. It was that preparation for that Mosul offensive that was happening. So we were linking up with the tribal fighters who had been displaced by ISIS, and building out another FOB, kind of doing that whole piece from the ground up. And that was rough at first, and then we got it a little bit more comfortable, getting the vehicles, getting the security up, taking Katyusha rockets and stuff like that from the FLOT, because we weren't too far from the FLOT, and then linking up with the tribal groups that were kind of posted up along that FLOT line, all the way kind of up to the south of Mosul.
Were you guys operating much?
Man, it was that technically that advise and assist, not a company, but we were coming out and we were on the FLOT doing our thing, and as much as we could.
Yeah. At that time, ISIS was doing their thing.
Yeah.
So
a lot of target packages, a lot of being on glass, a lot of kind of exchanging of some flyers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Any of them stand out that you could share that are worth mentioning? Man,
I was looking, because I'm JTAC in peace, and we were doing a lot of drops. Yeah. We were actually doing a lot of target packages. And I was just kind of scrolling and looking at my phone, that has the feed pulling down from the plane, man. And a guy with a Dishka, I felt that thing in my hat. I mean, I was not paying attention, Head was kind of above the berm, and man, I almost took one.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, man.
Damn. Did you shoot him back or?
Man, it was far, man. It was probably at least a kilometer.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, and it was with that dish kit, but I just wasn't paying attention, man.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "Oh man, dude, I gotta like."
Yeah.
Yep.
Almost took it. Did you guys respond in any way? Did you call in any?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dusted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your take at that time, if you can recall? I mean, because I know how I felt. Now, granted, I'd been out for a while at that point, but seeing, especially having been in Iraq at the early days and being in during all of the fucking hard years that was there, putting students through that ended up getting killed. Like emotionally, I had a lot invested into that place,
Mm-hmm.
and so kind of like, a lot of the Afghan vets with the way things, transpired with everything coming out of there. When you were there, seeing ISIS doing what they were doing, did that end up on your radar mentally at all in terms of like, how the fuck did we go from all of the blood, sweat, tears, treasure, et cetera, manpower that we had dumped and lost into this fucking country, and now it's just been wiped away by ISIS? Was there a feeling of that with you and your platoon at all?
Absolutely. It was frustrating, was an understatement, to feel like you were chained. You had handcuffs on. You weren't allowed to operate. Your freedom of movement. Getting even target packages approved were difficult. Yeah. Even when you had all this info, it was. Where's that aggression? What are we doing here? Was that feeling that everybody was dealing with.
Would you say overall troop morale was low?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, not being in at the time, from your recollection, was there a kind of mass exodus after that deployment? Were a lot of guys saying, fuck this, I'm getting out?
A lot of guys from that platoon ended up getting out.
Yeah.
Yep. Or if they didn't, their contract wasn't up that one, they ended up getting out on that next scope because they were also cycling through, Abu Dhabi and stuff. So they were kind of doing that other training. They're like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you come home from Iraq, frustrated, morale's low, coming back to a potential felony charge, dealing with that. Then what happened?
Fought it, kind of continued to train, tried to keep my mind off it as much as possible with just, once again, the team was letting, I was just training, and then that court date was creeping up fast. I volunteered to go back to Iraq to stay as a JTAC, and that extended the court date a little bit. I ended up not going, but it got that court date extended, kicked the can down the road, and then finally my day of court came, and I was drunk as shit. I had gone to the strip club the whole night before, walking the plank, man, and I'm in my dress blues, sitting on the toilet just like, and my lawyer, I'm like, I got to go to court right now. And he goes, fuck. Yeah, man, for a full-on trial.
Yeah.
And I just thought I was surrendered. And my lawyer called me and he said, hey, man, they got a deal for you. And I said, what is it? And he said, they're going to give you 2 misdemeanors maxed out, but you got to pay this guy full restitution right now, today, or they're going to keep it as a felony. But you're going to have 4 years of formal probation, interstate compact transfer. You're going to have to serve time also. And I said, fine, man, whatever I got to do. It's got to be misdemeanor. And so that's what I did.
So 2 misdemeanors maxed out.
Yeah, so it was 4 years formal probation. I'm talking in San Diego. They did an interstate compact transfer.
What does that mean? It's
like I'm supposed to be staying in Idaho technically because that's where I violated, but they were going to let me go to San Diego. I had to pay him my whole Iraq check, this guy.
So what was the total amount?
Man, it was like 40 G's or something. That was just the restitution. He was also suing me for $250,000 on the civil side. So I was fighting that also. And so but I was like, okay, we'll deal with that later. And I was happy to get it cleared finally. And so the team gave me vacation to go to jail. So I took vacation and I did 3 weeks in Ada County jail as an active duty. The cops, when I showed back up a couple weeks later to turn myself back in for the sentencing, the bailiffs wouldn't put me in handcuffs. Really? I was in dress blues. Yeah, that was pretty good old boy of them. Yeah. They were like, we're not putting a fucking active duty SEAL in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bro.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What, Ada, Idaho, right?
Yeah, Ada County is Boise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was jail there like?
Man, a lot of meth heads, bro. And it was, I'm on there for a violent crime again. So you're in a lockdown pod, 80 guys, a 180. So the guard's here and it's a 180, 2 tiers, 40 on each tier. And that was it.
Any mix-ups there?
No, pretty chill. Most of the, it's a lot of white dudes, a lot of white dudes, Mexican. So there wasn't a huge racial issue in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's nutty. The guy that you hit, did you hit him once?
Yeah.
Did you fucking level him?
I broke his orbital eye socket. Yeah. That was the issue. So he had to get surgery, had almost lost his eye. Technically, that's what he said. Yeah. And so that's what caused that big issue.
Yeah. Did you see him in court?
No, I never saw him again.
Yeah. Man, the dude had a hard-on for you, though, huh? He wasn't fucking letting it go.
I got served papers coming out of jail, and the lawyer said he'd never seen that before that fast.
Wow. So did the $250,000 civil suit, did that go anywhere?
Yeah, I ended up, I was like, look, I can't pay that, that's, I'm a fucking enlisted team guy, And so they worked out a deal. It ended up being 100 G's or something, and I organized the payment plan, and I paid them for a while, and then pretty much just stopped.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Man. Fucking, dude, that's nuts. So, all right, so you go to jail in Idaho on leave, which I don't think, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
You come back. What did you come back to?
A clean slate, man. It was, so they my security clearance gets pulled right while I'm in this jail period. And this is where I started coming up on Navy JAG's radar. I run some paperwork, whatever. Next thing I know, I get my security clearance back like a couple weeks later. So I have a TSSCI at the time. So I'm security clearance back. Stuff's all clear. I'm good. I'm on paper handcuffs, so technically I'm not allowed to drink any alcohol or do anything, or I can be tested and go to prison on the stay. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I was good, man, and I was solid, man, for like 30 days.
30 whole days.
30 whole days, man. And then, and they just kind of started slow, and then that momentum started picking back up.
Would you start drinking again or what?
Yeah. It's just a little bit and it was always with girls or whatever. It wasn't like, I wasn't tearing it up, I didn't think. And then that momentum started picking back up, and 3 months later, I get in an issue at a Jimmy Buffett concert of all places, and it wasn't like a fight. I get into a golf cart of the county, and it was just riding around the parking lot, and that's what it took. And then some cops rolled up on me, and it cascaded.
Man,
and that was the nail in the coffin.
So what did they arrest you?
Yeah, because I tried to get away. I knew if they ran my name, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
So, dude, this is actually right up your alley. They sick the dog on me.
Really?
So I run, they tackle me, I get up. I shook them off like dry leaves, man.
Where was this at?
This was in Del Mar County Fair.
Okay.
So, and then I'm running. They let the dog on me. So I'm fighting off this German Shepherd. I have a huge chunk out of my ass, man. And I'm hopping over this chain link fence. Meanwhile, hundreds of people are watching this go down. They hit me with one of those long tasers. I yank it. I end up getting the dog off me. I yank one of the tasers. They hit me with another one. I yank at that taser. They hit me with another one. That one starts to slow me down. Then they hit me with the fourth one, and I went down. And then they gave me all the love, man, on the way down. And when I got put in the back of the cop car, I knew I was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I had totally fucked myself.
Yeah.
I didn't even wait. They said, do you want us to call anybody? I said, call SEAL Team 7. That's what I said.
So you're still on active duty?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was about to go to Iraq again. So I've just finished my third workup. I had been demoted, so I was about to get my E6 back. I was up for LPO for the next, I always tell guys, man, it's when those times of expansion are when you got to fucking focus. That's what I had been kept forgetting. It's just when things are going good, slow the fuck down, because that's when shit's gonna hit you. That was in my life.
Yeah. I mean, so the natural question for me in hearing you explain this stuff, like, was there a thought process when you went from being on the straight and narrow to having a little bit of booze here or there? Like, did you ever stop and think like, fuck, what am I doing? Or was it always like making an excuse like, nah, I'll be all right, it's just a little bit here, and it just slippery slope down to a fucking nightmare?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, that's not going to happen again. What are the chances? Or I wasn't even tracking on that. I knew that probably I'll be good this time. And then you're not.
Yeah.
It's good until it's not.
Yeah. Do you think that looking back on it now, that if the team had been harder on you or had done more to punish you for doing it that would have?
No, I think I take it all on me, man, because that's not why I got kicked out. I was beating that. I beat that charge again and got to do a misdemeanor and had to go to, violation. It was actually really bad what happened because I violated 2 different states now, and they had federal marshals in a van about to extradite me. But Navy JAG, they were like, this guy's going to beat this case again. They tested me for steroids, and I lit that motherfucker up. That's what I got kicked out for.
Really?
Yeah, so I
they
failed.
Kicked you out of the Navy for that?
Yeah, because it's zero tolerance. It's looked at as a drug. So they tested me for drugs. I passed. Then 3 days later, they said, this fucking guy, they sent my shit to that formal place in UCLA. It cost like $2,000, and it came back hot.
What were you on?
Winstraw and some tests and probably some Tren or something too, man. I lit that thing up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Were you on that shit the whole time at the teams? In the teams?
No, it kind of picked up, and that probably wasn't helping my decision-making process at the time for sure. And that was the nail in the coffin that they got me on.
So how old are you at this point?
30.
30. All right, so you're 30.
31.
So the running from the police, getting bit by the dog, that you managed to get them to knock that down to a misdemeanor?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you pull that off? Or was it?
I knew the San Diego chief of police.
And
so we just,
she.
so
Is there a wink there?
No. It was, through the SEAL community, you learn, you get to know people. And I had met her at a fundraiser, whatever. And then I had some good mentors who were in the business world, and they'd made some contacts. And next thing you know, it's like, cause I didn't fight it wasn't like that. I was in flight mode, but it just kind of shook out like that.
So, but the Navy, was it Team 7 or Big Navy? Like who decided to test?
Big Navy.
Big Navy.
Yeah, Big Navy. The team, once again, the team was good with me, man. They're like, hey, handle your stuff. We know you're like got a lot going on right now. They weren't making me like sweep the fucking, they were like, handle your stuff. But they were just getting heat from Navy JAG to.
So this is 2016, 17?
2016.
Yeah. I got to tell you, that's fucking surprising, honestly, because I mean, the entire time that I was in, like and this was even the SEAL community, forget Big Navy, dude, their tolerance for anything like that was fucking zero.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dudes get a DUI, you're fucking gone. Mm-hmm. Like, you get in a fight, you're fucking gone. Like, I mean, they had no fucking wiggle room for dudes. Like, they would burn dudes for the smallest shit. I mean, it's fucking crazy to hear that many times just over and over. They're just like, yeah, fucking handle your shit. And I mean,
man, I don't know, man. I was grateful for it at the time, but I wasn't protecting shit from what I had tried to, or what I had earned.
Yeah. All right. So Big Navy tests you for steroids, you pop positive. So at that point, boom, you're out of the Navy. Team 7 can't do shit about it.
Yeah, it was done.
Yeah. So what happened? I mean, like one day you're in, the next day, bam, you're out.
That processing took a while. So I'm still fighting it with a military lawyer, doing that whole piece. And the CO of Team 7 at the time did a super bro move because they were going to give me an OTH. He had the power to up it to a general.
Oh, okay.
Under honorable circumstances.
Yeah. And
so that's what he did, and that's what I got. Yeah. And so I agreed to that. But I had to give up my GI Bill. That was part of the deal. Fine, I already had a degree. That's all good. So I gave up my GI Bill and then went back to jail in Idaho because that was where I violated. So I went back to jail again up there and handled that. But I had pitched up there, hey, if I just serve my time up there, can we just commute it and get off the books? So in a weird way, because I had done that additional crime, it cleared up that 4-year probation by me just serving more time. And so when I walked out of jail, I had no more probation, completely free and clear, no more charges in San Diego or Idaho, and I was completely out of the Navy. I signed my DD-214 the next day.
Wow. How long did you go to prison for up there?
It was 3 weeks, and then so another 3 weeks.
Another 3 weeks.
Yep.
So 3 weeks in jail got rid of 4 years of probation?
Yep.
Dude, that's nutty.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know who wouldn't take that.
I took it, man.
Good
lawyers. Yeah. John Cox, love you, bro.
Jesus. All right, so you're 30, 31 now, or?
Yeah, 31.
31. All right, so you have a general discharge under honorable circumstances, but you're out of the Navy. Obviously, you can't do anything more with that. Did you have any fucking money to your name?
Man, I was hemorrhaging cash. Three attorneys in 2 states, but I had not done nothing during this I knew I was getting out. So I was really leveraging contacts in the business world, and I was into real estate. So I moved from the day I got out of the Navy. That next Monday, I was in a supervisor position for the largest private developer in the United States on a $750 million project in San Diego. And I started there. I don't know anything about construction, but I know how to run teams and get information. So that's what I started to do.
No shit. Mm-hmm. How long did you do that for?
A year. A full year. And we were doing like 19, we did 19 million. I'm talking from underground trenching, everything. I learned it from the ground up. And I really liked that construction world. But then I got another team guy, former team guy, hit me up and he said, hey, we got cannabis coming legal this year. We're going to start a distribution company. So that's what I ended up moving and working with a venture capitalist to launch a distribution company for cannabis in California.
So you quit doing that and moved over to that full time? From the time that you got out of jail until you went to do the cannabis gig, did you get arrested in that time at all?
No. So since that time, I've never been arrested since that moment.
Okay.
That was the last time in my life.
Yeah. Do you still drink?
Dabble. But it's as I've been focusing on the greater, that I don't party in bars and stuff. That's completely done for me. That was like, on special occasion or something. But I found it fucks with my macros. And so as I got more focused on my disciplines, it started falling off the back of the truck more.
Yeah. Okay. So never been arrested, staying away from booze for the most part. You launch into the cannabis thing. How did that go?
But
there's always a but.
I will say this. Yeah. The day I got out of the teams, I started stacking bad habits. The day I started doing Adderall, Xanax, alcohol, weed every day. I didn't miss a day. I mean, I was finding it worked. I was in the gym sipping on a bottle of vodka because I found it would take the edge off the Adderall at the end of the day. And I just thought this is what he did. I had no more really accountability, and I was having these measures of success along the way. So I was like, nobody could tell me shit. Look what I'm doing, right? Obviously what I'm doing is working. I had the beautiful girlfriend in the house by the beach in PB, have this good job. So I could lie to myself. And then I went into that cannabis field, and it's not the healthiest of environments, right? And I wasn't living right anyway. The relationship was getting strained because the man sets the tone. The fish stinks from the head. And I was not setting a good, healthy tone at all. I had no emotional control. I was getting violent with people in my life. I was getting speed wobbles. And then I stack on an opioid habit. If it was fentanyl, even better. And I was doing that every night for a whole year. All that stuff. I was doing everything every day. I didn't miss a day. And still functioning. Now I'm pitching decks. Now I'm raising millions. Now I'm building out facilities and doing all this stuff so I could lie to myself even more. I'm in a high rise now, right? I'm the big cheese. This is working until you can't bend reality that long. And I went face down, literally, did a line, face down on like a marble table, split my whole face. So, and that's when like the big boss kind of was like, hey man, you were an asset, now you're a liability. I remember that just hit me so hard. And now the girlfriend's gone. Now the job's gone. Now I have nothing. Now this is the first time things are starting to slow down and I'm starting to really have to think.
So you got shit canned from that.
Yeah.
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 You were doing fentanyl?
If I could get it, absolutely. It's just in the powder, yeah.
I mean,
because it was like Percocet, but then the fentanyl would come and that shit's way stronger, so I liked it more.
Yeah. You're doing that every night?
Every night.
Fuck, man. Cocaine, fentanyl. I mean,
not cocaine. No, I'm not into the upper,
Oh, you did it. So you did a line of opioids?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You snorted it?
Yeah.
Man. All right, so I want to talk to you real quick about a product I've been using for a long time sponsor and supporter of the show, Mudwater. Got rid of coffee, switched to Mudwater. It tastes great. I like to mix my Bubs collagen and MCT oil powder with it. A little bit of vanilla drops, and it's fantastic. It's got a host of different ingredients. There's cacao and chai for a hint of caffeine and kind of a hot chocolate type flavor. There's lion's mane for focus, cordyceps to promote natural energy, and both chaga and reishi to support a healthy immune system. It's Whole30 approved, 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. They do donate monthly to support psychedelic research, and they have since day one. Go get your free frother and free samples of coconut creamer and sweetener if you go to Mudwater, mudwtr.com/Mike. On that link, you get all the samples, the frother for free, and that's Mudwater, mudwtr.com/Mike for that free frother rather. So it's a great product. I've been using it for a long time. You don't get the upset stomach or the jitters with the tons of caffeine and coffee. And it's a great vehicle to add whatever other supplements you want to throw into your morning routine. That's mudwater.com/Mike. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's the most revolutionary ball trimmer the world has ever seen. Gentlemen, our friends over at Manscaped have been working night and day to bring you the below-the-waist grooming experience like none other with their brand new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. Features the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. We're talking about a next-generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever shave your mind can imagine. You can go with the Flying V, the landing strip, whatever. You can go straight bald if that's your flavor. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultra Sphere this year by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code MikeDrop. That's high tech for low places. I will say AI is cool, but this might be the biggest technological advancement the world has seen in the past decade. Anybody with a shorn undercarriage can tell you that. Every guy knows how scary it can get when you're going for the close shave below the belt. That's why I trust Manscaped for all my sensitive areas. In this package, you'll find the star of the show, which is that 5.0 Ultra lawnmower. It's got 2 interchangeable skin-safe blades, taking a little off the top or with the foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. There's dual LEDs to be able to pay attention to what the hell you're doing. And it also includes the Weed Whacker 2.0, which is an ear and nose trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant to make you smell good in those areas, the Crop Soother toner, and 2 free gifts. It's got the skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate spots. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formula, the Crop Soother, the Crop Preserver, and Manscaped's even going to throw in 2 free gifts with their Performance Package 5.0, which is Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 travel bag. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code MikeDrop at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with manscaped.com, code MikeDrop. So, I mean, San Diego's, wrought with, whatever you want, but like, how are you sourcing this shit?
I just had the contacts in the drug world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you get fired. Did you decide then to stop doing all that shit?
So I moved to the big island of Hawaii. I'm like, I got to get out of here, right?
Really?
And the big boss was like, hey, man, so I moved my truck, all my stuff. I need to get out of here. I know I need to get off opioids.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I was addicted until I didn't have any more opioids. And that was I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I didn't realize what grip that had on me. And that first week, man, I didn't sleep when I ran out, I was in Hawaii, in paradise, and I was in hell.
Yeah.
I was in hell. Ooh. I couldn't be in my skin. It's the only way I could describe it. Didn't sleep for 5-6 days. I took myself to urgent care because I'm like, going through hell week, your head starts swelling up, your joints, things aren't going well.
Jesus, man. So what was that whole process like between, other than what you've already said of how it felt, how long it took? Like what was the whole process of coming off of that shit?
It first felt uncomfortable. Then it felt like my skin was crawling. And then it felt like something seriously wrong was happening. And then the emotional piece of me having lost my whole life was stacked on top of with it. So finally, when I went to sleep after about 6-7 days, then I kind of woke up, the fog started to lift. And then I never went back to that shit again. That was after that. But I was still taking Adderall, drinking every day and doing all that. But then I shit canned the opioids, And so I was out there for about 2-3 more months before now the money's gone. All the things gone. Everything's gone. And I'm cut and I'm isolated. And I realized I'm homeless in my truck and I don't have shit. This is how it happens. I had no money. I had no gas, so I was like in the jungle of Hawaii going straight native, and I had a sawed-off shotgun on my lap for like 3 days, and I was just thinking about icing myself. And I'm going, I was this guy, now look where I'm at. And 3 days I was there just really thinking about it. Cut my phone, was talking to anybody. Thinking about jumping off a cliff, but realizing it's probably not high enough. And then I go, there's a volcano over there. I could jump into the volcano. And I remember saying that to myself, and I just started laughing. I'm like, dude, you're fucking insane, man. And that like brought me out of myself. I go, and you're a fucking pussy, dude. I was like, everything you're saying right now is me. I was like, you have a mom, you have a sister. What's their life gonna look like if you fucking do this? So that pulled me for one moment out of my own bullshit. And I went, fuck this, I'm going in the French Foreign Legion. That's that moment I made the decision.
So what year was this?
This was 2019. This was 2019 October-ish.
So taking a couple steps back, when you moved to Hawaii, I mean, did you have any plan other than just, I need to get the fuck out of San Diego? Why Hawaii?
They had some, the VC boss had some business there or whatever, but I think he just kind of wanted to maroon me, get me out of because there were some other personal things involved, like in the relationships. And so there was some intertwining. Yeah. So I needed to get out of there and he wanted me out of there. And that's what happened. And so that's where I was.
You didn't have a place to stay. You were staying in your truck.
I was Airbnb-ing it because I had money when I first got out there, but then you don't. Then you don't, man.
Fuck, man, that's wild. Did anything else happen while you were there? I mean, you said you didn't get arrested, but even though you're not doing the opioids, you're drinking and doing Adderall and anything else?
No, man. I was just kind of doing my thing and I, making plans, what I'm going to do, what's the next step, but they're all bullshit, man, because I wasn't living right. Yeah. You can't, I was not aligned. I had no inner peace at all. I didn't understand that concept yet, and I had lost all discipline. Yeah. I was still going to the gym-ish, disciplined-ish, and that was that being able to lie to myself. I'm like, I still look pretty decent, that whole bullshit thing, but I have fucking absolutely no discipline.
Yeah. Were you hooking up with chicks all over the island at that time, or
No, man. I was so just like in my own head. Yeah. I was being around people and stuff wasn't my whole thing.
So you're completely alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So in all this time, you've been through a lot. You're in Hawaii. You go through withdrawals of coming down off of opioids. You're still dabbling in booze and other prescription stuff. Growing up and up until and going through all this, was religion ever a component that you ever turned to, thought of, turned your back on, or considered at all?
I've always connected with the higher power, forever. And even during this time in Hawaii, I was having like a religious experience. Yeah. Yeah. Like something weird happened out there actually, where I was taken to the book of Enoch and like, I don't know if I was losing my mind or something was happening, but I've always felt a very strong connection and understanding of higher consciousness, God, and I'm 100% on board. And I knew I wasn't living right, but I felt like I had to be on this path or something. And I knew I needed to unfuck myself too. That was also part of it. That's what I was being told. Listen, you need to unfuck yourself and go in the French Foreign Legion. And I truly believe that that's a God experience, because I wasn't the master of that. I was not the intelligent piece in that decision.
So once you made that decision, was it like clear cut, like fuck, ditch everything and
4 days later I was in France.
Oh shit.
Like, I had my truck and stuff, and I just keep this, I'll see you in 3 years type thing, and put my stuff and boom.
In storage? Or
I took, with like a friend there, hey, keep my truck, I'll pay you to kind of keep this going. And I organized my affairs. I had no money, so I took a couple fast cash loans, like 500 fast cash loans. I was like, I'll pay this back later. Yeah. It cost me probably $8,000, right? And then I hopped the plane, man, and went to France.
Did you have any contact with any recruiters or?
They don't exist. There's one way to do it. So you go to 2 of the pre-selection centers and knock on the fucking door.
Really?
That's it.
There's no call, no online, no email. You just show up.
It's old school.
No shit.
That's how it's been for 200 years, and they keep it like that. And I'm talking, you go to the gate, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If you knock on that gate on Christmas morning, they'll open it.
No shit.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
Powerful, bro. Powerful. So I land in France. It's raining. I just come from Hawaii. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here, man? It's freezing. It's freezing. I can't believe I'm doing this. I got no money, so I go to the shittiest hostel I could find in Paris. Mm-hmm. And I knew I couldn't go right away because I had drugs in my system. I had Adderall and amphetamines and weed and everything else. I was like, they're going to drug test me. It's the military. I knew in my experience, I can clear my system in about 3 or 4 days, right? If I just kind of. So that's what I did. And I just cut everything. Pound water, was going on runs and sprints, and I ran up to the Sacre-Cœur church on the Sacred Heart on top. It's an old school church, man. Badass. Bricks from like the 1600s in the middle of Paris. And man, I said a prayer, bro. I said, just look out for me, man. I said, I'll do this. Just look out for I get the chills, man, talking about it. And I was at a low point. And the night before I was like, I'll go on the Hunter's full moon, the red big ass moon. On a Sunday night, it was raining, and I brought my DD-214. They knew I was going to let them know who I was coming to the gate, and I went and knocked, man.
Who answered the door?
And a Mexican guy. It's a Legionnaire is going to answer it because they keep gate secure. The Legion outsources nothing, so their own security is Legionnaires, and it's 24-hour rotations. And so a guy with a green beret and a FAMAS, man, knocked it. A guy from Mexico. Opened the door. I said, je suis ici pour la Légion, which, I Googled right before I went in there. And he said, all right, give me your passport. And that's how it goes. And I didn't see that. I didn't see that passport again for 2.5 years. Yeah.
Because that's part of the gig, right? You basically, you're kind of turning yourself over to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so then it's wait here. A guy who's speaking French and a Russian accent will come and get you and then walked me back and then told me get on the pull-up bar. It was the first thing.
Really? Right away?
Right away. That's the first thing they do.
Did you speak any French other than what you Googled before showing up there?
Oui. That's it.
So, I mean, you speak it fluent now, right? Or pretty close?
It's my accent's dog shit.
Yeah.
But I can get by. Yeah. Enough to be dangerous, yeah. Because everything's in French.
So I'm assuming that, is it a requirement or is it just like, you better figure it out?
It's trial by fire. Like, it's a full immersion. The French Foreign Legion's extreme immersion.
I mean, how do you do that?
It's slow, and I'm still learning. French is hard, and our accent as Americans is brutal.
Yeah. We
butcher the French language, but you're constantly bombarded by it.
I mean, trying to think of, a military outfit. Now, granted, the training and experience that you have going into it puts you in a totally different category, but even still, like I try to imagine, a German GSG-9 guy that speaks no English that says, hey, I want to join the fucking SEAL teams, and you're trying to explain shit in English. Like, how does that even fucking work?
The Legion's been doing it for so many years that they have like a pretty good system.
I mean, so they are teaching you.
So you have French classes.
Okay.
And they're minimal though. Most of it's just on the go, OT, on the job. Legion French is simple, right? It's stripped down. It's very Spartan.
It's like prisoner handling commands.
It's Spartan French. Yeah. Like even the French go, it's Legion French. That's what they call it, Gotcha. So it's like a mix of other countries' words. There's like some Polish words in there and things and
slang and shit.
Yeah, a lot of slang.
Wow. All right. So the first thing you go on the pull-up bar. Can you walk us through, like, from an experience standpoint, like, what did it look like walking through the door? What did it smell like?
So it's like an old medieval castle. That's what the bricks. Picture an old medieval castle. That's the gate. Big ironwood gate. You go in, and then there's an open middle courtyard area, and they walk you way back, and then you're in another old school medieval looking barracks building. And in that is now you're in a kind of an office environment. It's, pretty stark military French Foreign Legion office, but you're in there. Pull-up bar was right in the middle of the hallway. And this was at Fort Nogent in Paris specifically. So, right. And then down the hallway are guys who are still waiting, and you're in civilian clothes at this point. It's not militant. You're not in the French Foreign Legion yet. You haven't been pre-selected. So pull-up bars, then they give you an IQ test immediately, a very simple IQ test.
Did you know how many pull-ups you had to do, or they just say do pull-ups?
They just said do pull-ups. I think I busted out about 20, pretty good ones, but I think they get you by on 10.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So he says get on the bar, you do 10 pull-ups.
I just cranked out 20. He said hop off, you're good.
And then from there he takes you to the IQ test.
Yeah. And then this is Sunday night too. This is like 9 o'clock at night. So he's just kind of running me through, checks my bag, took any property that I couldn't have, and then gives me kind of what I could. You're coming in there with shower shoes, stuff, because they're not giving you anything yet. You're going in there, and on their website, they say, bring this stuff. So that's what they do have. Bring this stuff. Don't bring anything more, nothing less. Then they give you just a real basic, bare bones, 2 + 2 is 4, and, this is a square, and that.
Is that in French?
That's all in, if I remember right, it was more math and stuff. So it was pretty simple. And if I do remember right, it was kind of in English. Some of it was. But it was simple. That's just that initial. And then they go, okay, you're good. You're not a complete moron and you can do some pull-ups. Okay, now just go sleep it off. And then in the morning you start processing. And
so were you with other guys that were doing the same thing?
Yeah, so you immediately when you walk in, you're in a big barracks room packed with guys from all over the world. You heard like 40 languages in one room.
About how many dudes were there?
Probably about 60 or 70 probably in this holding pattern.
Yeah.
At this point.
Do you know about how long they collect people until they start a...
Yes. So it's kind of on a 2-week cycle.
Okay.
That's so the pre-selection takes about a week to 2 weeks to actually get pre-selected. And so the next morning, then they're going to start doing your med checks. And a lot of guys, they're strict on the teeth because they had a lot of problems with guys coming in to the French Foreign Legion to get their teeth fixed and then deserting. So France was like, no more of that. So they're strict on the teeth. They're strict on the feet. They're strict on and their legs, like your shape of your leg. Your body shape is important to the Legion and your BMI.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did you have the caps on your lower teeth when you showed up?
No.
So they did that?
No, I did it later as an upgrade.
I got you. I mean, is it purely cosmetic or is it?
Well, I had chipped a couple on the bottom, and I asked the dentist in Turkey. I said, "Hey, man, how do I just make this not happen anymore?" And he said, "Because I had really good teeth." He's like, "Well, what do I do?" I said, "Can you put some metal down there, man?" And he's like, "Yeah, we can if you got the money." I said, "I got the money. Let's rock and roll." He's like, "You sure?" I said, "Absolutely, man."
In Turkey.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ. This fucking stories you have. All right, so back to the pre-selection. It's about 60 dudes, 40 different languages ish. Were there any? There's got to be some peacock feathers, fucking eyeballing, sizing each other up. What was that like? So you got You got to remember the mafia groups. So you got language is important. Yeah. And nobody's speaking French, so you got a lot of guys from Ukraine. Like 10% of the French Foreign Legion's Ukraine. You guys from Ukraine, yeah. So it's a big percentage. Do you know why? You got a lot of Nepalese. They make shit money in their military. Yeah. So they're like doubling their pay, tripling their pay just by going. And also guys from Belarus. So you got the Russian speakers, the Eastern Bloc guys. Then you got the English speakers that are scattered. You got guys from UK, guys from, very few from the United States or Canada, very few. A lot from Nepal also, because their Gurkha selection is so difficult that the guys don't get through, that they come to the Foreign Legion. And those are and Brazilians. That's kind of the bigger groups. Really? So, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and English. Were there any other Americans when you were there? One cycled through. Nobody got selected, though, just me. Yeah. What was his story? Did you talk to him much? Yeah. He had a felony gun charge that he couldn't get in the military in the United States. Oh, okay. So he hadn't been in the military? No. Man, that's wild. So in that, I guess, concoction of different dudes, where's the strangest place of anybody that you met being from? Mongolia came on my radar a little bit more than it normally had. Really? Yeah, so you got those Genghis Khan cats, and they're tough, man. The Mongolians are no joke. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's some wild shit. So that language is like heavy too, man. Yeah. Mongolians like hardcore. Yeah. Yeah. In what way? It's that like what are those ogres in Star Wars or whatever? That's like it's hardcore. That's what it sounds like. No shit. Yeah. Man, that's a trip. All right, so you're in this group pre-selection. You said it lasts about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you'll go to another IQ test, and then the interview process in the selection legion is the most important. Every interview, that's where most guys get chopped. And why are you here? That's like, why is the Navy SEAL fucking here? You know, they don't want issues with the United States government. That was also another piece that I started to read in more. So they're really like, what's going on with you? Like and so I explained, I could lean into the truth. I'm like, my fucking ruined my whole life and I need a second chance. That's what I told them, man. Yeah. And so they were like, okay, it kind of makes sense, you know.
They're interviewing you in English, I assume?
Yeah. So they have a guy that speaks like 5 languages, a Legionnaire, and he'll ask you in English.
Yeah. What other things did they ask you?
Do you understand this is 5 years? Do you understand you're going to lose your name? Do you understand you're not going to go back home for a long time? Do you understand you could die? Here's what happens if you die. Here's what happens to your body. They go into that process. They're just making sure you understand what the deal is and that what the reality is. I didn't go into the Legion with some romantic notion of, I'd been in the military. I knew what the deal was. I knew even as a SEAL, things aren't romantic, right? And so it was good and bad. My perspective, I needed the Legion as a vehicle to burn some time. I wanted to finish my tattoos and not get fucked with. I had a vision for my body, and I also needed it as a vehicle for self-development. I knew I needed to mature, and I needed some fucking quiet and separation. And so that's what I was like, I need to be here, man. And if I can deploy and they give me a gun in between that, great.
So it's almost like a self-imposed, all-encompassing rehab almost.
It was like I looked at it as like a prison sentence, man. Yeah. I was just like, I didn't care how hard it was, what was going to happen. I'm like, I am going to be here and I need to I need to think.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't thought about my own thoughts, and I knew I needed to start unlearn some shit.
Yeah.
Because I can't, whatever I'm doing is not working. Because this revolving self-sabotage that was since I was in high school. So I'm like not living right. And I knew I needed to go in there for that.
Yeah. So it's, like a self-imposed hard reset.
Yeah. That was well said.
Yeah.
Yep.
So during this process, obviously the interviews are important. They're doing medical checks. I'm assuming they're piss testing you and all that shit. Are they doing like x-rays to make sure your joints aren't fucked and all that?
Yeah, the doctors are giving you a pretty good thorough one once over.
Were there any other physical tests that they did?
Yeah, so after you pass all that stuff, they send you to a shuttle run beep test and pull-ups, push-ups, all that stuff. Some guys got chopped for the beep test because they went full tilt and burned out. It was okay though. You know, I hadn't run in a while. I'd started to train for like a few days before, and I was like, I'm not ready, but we have got to go, so let's figure it out live.
Man. Are they, how are they treating you at that point? Is it very boot camp like?
No, it's very casual at this point because you're still in civilian clothes.
Oh, okay.
Guys are dressed like this, waiting, because if you get chopped in the pre-selection, I would say guys come from the middle of the jungle in South America and show up to the French World League. They go a boat to a plane to a train, and then they go fail the pull-ups. And then they get sent back. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. But you don't get any money, nothing. They just tell you to leave during the pre-selection part.
I gotcha. I'm assuming they're feeding you though.
Yes. Minimal. Some guys straight quit the minute they saw the first meal.
Really?
Baguette with like one thing of bologna, and that's it. The French don't get a lot of they don't need a lot of calories, man. Yeah. Fuck, man. And and for breakfast it's black coffee and bread, hard bread.
That's it.
They don't do the protein in the morning. All through your whole career.
Really?
Never. Yeah, they do not eat breakfast. So that was rough, man. The gains were not to be had.
Yeah, fucking on cutting phase. Yeah. Man. So, all right. So there's the week and a half, there's physical tests, psychological tests, medical tests, treating you like a civilian or pretty casual, laid back. That group of 60-ish dudes, at the end of pre-selection, how many were selected to go into?
So they'll pick about half. And during this period, it's weird. When you pass that IQ test, they hand you a sticky note, like a no shit sticky note. And it's got a completely different name on it and a completely different date of birth. And they go, that's you now.
Really?
Mine was Trent Clayson.
No shit.
I got hooked up on the name, man. I was like, man, this dude got from Montana. Where's this guy from? It's your same initials, and it's your date of birth plus a month and a day. That's how they do it in the computer system.
Wow. And is that just for ambiguity?
It's some heritage. I don't know exactly why. I don't know if they're continuing to do it or if you have the choice now. But some guys like want to ditch their whole old life.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but after a couple of years, you can route up some paperwork a little higher, and then you get your passport and your name back and stuff.
If you don't do that, I mean, let's say you're one of those guys that wants to disappear and become somebody else, you can do that there?
They give you a European social security number. You can get French citizenship, and you become that person.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, I mean, knowing that, there's got to be, when you talk about, mafia guys or whatever, like there's got to be some dudes that
absolutely,
WITSEC wise are like, fuck, this is how I'm.
I know a couple of them.
Yeah. Dude, you probably don't want to share why they're there.
Man, dude, it's everything on the side. I'll say what the Legion's very strict on. Like if you're coming in on a sexual crime, absolutely no go. Yeah. Like things like that, they're like.
And they'll know like from a.
Because they do Interpol. Yeah, they do Interpol, and they don't want international arms trafficking issues or drug. They don't want that Interpol deal. But Interpol has come to the gate at Foreign Legion regiments, and they told them to fuck off. It has happened. Wow. Yeah.
So have they come there and be like, give us this dude, and they turn them over? Or they're once they're there?
They protected guys before.
Really?
Yeah, they told the Interpol to fuck off.
Wow. Man, that's a trip. Can you say what the guys did to why they wanted to disappear and become somebody else?
Some guys are just so hurt from their old life. It's actually more that. Yeah. They want to be done with a divorce and an old lost love, and they ruin their whole life. They just want to restart.
Yeah. In terms of pay, when after that pre-selection they say, okay, you're in, I'm assuming that's once you start getting paid.
Yes. So, and then it's, a little bit, it's only like 20 euros a day or something because you're not selected yet. You go pre-selection and then you go to selection.
How did they inform you that you made pre-selection?
When you get that name.
Oh, okay. So, hey, you made it.
Yep.
Okay. So then you go to selection.
Yeah. And then they put you on a bus. They group you up. They put you on a bus to a train. And then you're going down South France to Aubin, the selection center, which is the headquarter regiment.
Okay. And at this point, you're still in civilian clothes.
You're still in civilian clothes at this point, yeah. Okay.
Once you check in there, now is it fucking...
Now the heat starts to get turned up a little bit. They're giving you like a jumper, military, like sport clothes. Now you're kind of hustling around a little bit more. Now you're a little bit more, they're indoctrinating you in. You're still waiting around, but then you're going to go through that same battery of tests again, this time a little bit more in depth. You're going to do the psychological evaluation, the IQ tests. They're a little harder, a little longer. And then you go to the famous Gestapo interviews, they call them, which is like the Legion, DPLE, like NCIS. And they do a full interrogation on you. Mine was, most of them are like a couple hours. Mine was 4 days, 8 hours. Dead serious. Shit. I got all the love, man.
Jesus.
They didn't know why the fuck I was there. They wanted to really dig into me. And I understand.
Yeah. I mean, was there any angle of them being like, are you a fucking spy?
I think there wasn't that so much. It was that they thought it was lying. They're like, why would you come say? I'm like, man, I got fucking kicked out, man. It was. So
you told them I got booted for steroids.
Yeah. I told them the whole deal. They just thought there was more to it than that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Is there a craziest thing that they asked you or assumed? Or
man, they pulled up some stuff from my background that I have no idea where they pulled pictures up that I have never even seen before.
Really?
Yeah. So they did their due diligence.
Like what pictures from what?
Some pictures from some stuff in the cannabis industry, but like stuff I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're like, why didn't you tell us you did this? Because I told them I'd never done drugs in my life. And they're like, holding the bundle of weed. They're like, what's this about?
Yeah. Oh, no, what happened was, Jesus.
That's photoshopped.
Yeah. Man, were there any close calls during that process of them almost kicking you out or it seeming like they were?
I was pretty concerned because I knew I had nothing, man. I was really like selling myself to them. I was like, let's just give me a chance to get in here and I'll be a good soldier for you.
Yeah. What I'm assuming that if they cut you at that point, it's just Put you on a bus back to where.
Yeah, they give you your passport back, give you $200, and don't let the gate hit you on the ass on the way out. That's how it works for those guys.
Oh, and once you got to selection, that same group that you were with, I mean, how many guys made it through?
So to give you an overall number, average, a guy who comes to knocks on the gate, 1 out of 15 gets selected.
Okay.
To give you like the whole during this first week, then that selection takes about, so that whole process takes a month. 1 out of 15.
So the first pre-selection is a week and a half, then the selection is another three weeks or so.
And you're doing some more physical tests. You're swimming. The part of the reason I got picked up is because fucking all the guys that come to the Legion can't swim, man. Yeah. All the Africans and stuff are going at the bottom of the pool. But these guys just haven't swum in their life. Yeah. I smoke checked it. So the guy's like, who the fuck's that guy? It racked me up high on the list because the guy who was actually the kind of the master chief of that cell was like big on the pool. Yeah. Like he was a professional boxer. There's some athletes, man, from all around the world, some really savage studs that their countries just don't offer what they want. And so they find it in the Legion. But he was like, hey man, what's your deal? Okay. And then he got me racked up.
Yeah. Wow. Speaking of kind of that same vein, the instructor staff or cadre that's administering all of this, they're all Legionnaire guys.
Yep.
Are they further on in their career where it's kind of like a buds instructor? It's like a twilight.
They're all like 20 years in, all of them.
Yeah. Were some of them pretty fucking impressive physically?
Yeah. There's some guys that were really good. Running is majorly important. Just in the French military in general, after working with a lot of French, the running and the being able to travel long distances, light, is major. The different philosophy, right?
Yeah. All right. So how did they inform you once you went through all this stuff? Two things. How did they inform you? And also, is the food any better at that point, or
no? It's still pretty
Spartan.
Spartan, yeah, and it stays Spartan in France. That's just how the Legionnaires are allocated less food than the normal French army.
Really?
Less money per meal. So your stuff's just redheaded stepchild, man, of the French military. It's getting better though because it's getting more incorporated. The history of the Legion's pretty interesting with that. They tried to kill the French president one time. That didn't help. Because they pulled out Algeria and a bunch of guys were pissed about it. After it's kind of like what we talked about, and they had some vested emotional interest, and a group of parachute regiment guys tried to kill the French president.
Holy shit!
Yes.
What year was that?
1962, I think.
Wow.
So during how they call you out is one day they go selection call outs, who's getting selected, and they just call your name, and the guys who don't get called go home.
It's just that simple.
Yep.
Yeah. So they call your name, and then what?
It's immediately to gear issue. It's immediately to gear issue all your basic essentials for boot camp. Basic Army infantry boot camp.
So all the Legionnaires go through basic Army boot camp?
Yep.
Really? Mm-hmm. With guys that aren't in the Legion?
No, it's Legion Army boot camp, but it is just a basic Army boot camp.
So it's the same as if you were a French citizen joining the regular Army, it would be.
It's much harder.
Okay.
Like it's much more rustic in French, a lot more rustic and more, because immediately after you get your gear issue, they take you to Castel Notary, and because you spend a week doing some indoctrination. Right now you're in fatigues. Now you're starting to kind of be held to a different standard. They send you to Castel Notary, which is near the French Pyrenees, near the Spanish border. That's where all instruction takes place for the French Foreign Legion, that regiment.
Okay.
4th Foreign Regiment.
And how long is that process?
That's going to be a 4-month boot camp. The first month you're there, you go to a place called the Farm, and it's a fucking farm.
Yeah.
In the mountains. That's unique about the Legion. Like when they give you a FAMAS immediately, you're doing weapons manipulation like day one, and you stay with that thing, and you're living in a farm. Like out in a cot, and you're not in like a boot camp building for the first month. And then you do your Kepi Blanc march back, which is that white. You get 60 kilometers back to the deal after the month. And man, we've been cold in buds, right? I was so fucking cold at that farm. I don't remember being that cold, man, because you couldn't escape it. You don't have the gear, right? And then it was wintertime. I was like, damn, bro. Some of those kids from Tahiti were dying, dude. Seriously, man.
Fuck. So, I mean, so you're sleeping on a cot with basically nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you showering?
They let you shower like once every couple of days in the cold water.
Yeah. So pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
Then, huh? How many of you are there in this?
50 dudes.
50 dudes. Mm-hmm. How many of you guys made it?
So at this point, most of the attrition is quitting.
Okay.
They demand civil. They demand to go civilian. And you do have those guys. It's less failures and more psychological. And man, my psychology at this point, I was, what did I do? What did I do, man? I knew I had to be there and I wasn't going to quit. It's just not how we roll, right, Mike? And so I was like, I got to stay here, man, and do this. But I was 34 at the time. Yeah. So I'm 34 going through fucking boot camp with kids that are 17. Yeah. And
they're dudes that young?
You can come in at 17 and a half. Wow. 17 to 39 and a half is the cutoff for the Legion.
And there were guys that young?
17 and a half, yep. Wow. And then there was guys that were 38. Yeah. A couple guys older than me.
Yeah. Wow. All right, so a month at a farm. And what are you doing for that month mostly?
And this was part of the psychological problem that I was. You asking me what was harder, buds or 100% buds physically and technically, but the psychological problem I was having to solve there because I'm doing shoot, move, communicate with guys who've never even been in the military.
Yeah.
And haven't done after doing halos and shit. It was like a baptism in humility and having to clean toilets. Hey, Navy SEAL, come clean this fucking toilet. I heard a lot. Yeah. Yeah, man. I heard that a lot. So we're doing weapons manipulation. We're doing more French classes. We're doing a lot of tests. We're doing long fucking runs. Real long, much longer than I wanted to be running. Yeah. And I'm getting yelled at in the back, just like buds, with next to the ambulance.
Is the pace brutal?
Yeah. These guys charge, man. These Belarusians and stuff, dude, they fucking are machines, man. Yeah.
Running their asses off.
Yeah.
Is it led by cadre the way it is in the SEAL team? Yep. So like the dudes are doing it too.
All the dudes are doing it. Yeah. All the way up the chain. Master Chief's out there running.
Wow.
Yep.
Were there any intergroup problems between students?
Yeah, we had some some of the Brazilians and the Mongolians. I saw knife fights.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a couple knife fights. I saw a dude try to stab a dude with a bottle. You got some rough characters.
Yeah. Well, because in Buds, the Brotherhood starts day one. But you're all Americans. You all speak English for the most part. I mean, you have the occasional. I would say exception to that, but it's by and large like everybody grew up, at least compared to that, similarly. Even though, yes, there's all walks of life, like you still all, for the most part, grew up in America and have a much more similar story than guys from all over the fucking world that don't speak the same language, totally different cultures, customs, et cetera, now all just jammed into the same pot trying to figure it out. Did you still have that forged under adversity brotherhood component?
I've been asked this question before by a guy who was in the Marines, like, hey, how's the Brotherhood? The Brotherhood gets formed much later in the Legion, down after some years together with guys, and they're more tighter knit because there's still that language piece language is powerful, man, for being able to, those small jokes and things you can't communicate between people and you're just different cultures. You get a couple tight guys, but the Brotherhood's almost not existent at this point. It's every man for himself.
So it's just kind of almost like Survivor. It's
you're in a survival kind of mode, and you do have your guys you kind of click up with, but you're not. It's not because in the teams also, man, we're all living our dream. You're in it.
Yeah.
In the Foreign Legion, it's guys that need to be there, or from multiple reasons, or it's just a different vibe.
Yeah. Man. Were there any, I know you mentioned there were cliques, but were there any almost in that Survivor, like the TV show, like almost alliances and people that are fucking trying to have it out for other dudes, or is there any of that? Was there any hazing?
From the Cotters, no, it was the guys who were in it, I mean, we're all drinking out of a fucking fire hose. So nobody had the time to really kind of plot and scheme. From the actual staff, they were actually pretty professional.
Yeah.
Because the Legions had a lot of issues and the French government is not having it anymore. more. So it start to get a little bit more professional.
I gotcha. All right. So after that month there, freezing your dick off, and you're eating very little.
Yep. I lost a lot of weight.
Is it prepped like MRE type stuff, or are they making you weird?
No,
shit?
they're making like the staff, some of the, the E5s, E6s who are actually doing the instruction are cooking too.
No shit.
Yeah.
Boy, when you say they don't outsource anything,
Nothing.
Nothing. Wow.
Yeah.
So what's a typical day's worth of food at the farm?
So you'll get bread and coffee in the morning, maybe with a little butter and jam, they're making you eat it in like 30 seconds, and if they make you dump it, so you're eating out of the trash can a bunch of times, and just to kind of fuck with you. Then you're eating a real maybe basic like bean and rice thing in the middle of the day with a little meat, and then the same thing at night. So that's about it.
So less than 2,000 calories for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, 100%.
Yeah. Were there guys that, because if it's super cold, it's stressful, you're not getting much to eat. It's like Ranger school. Like, were there guys that just physically fucking crumbled and couldn't continue?
Yeah, we had guys just wake up in the morning and it's freezing and they're like, I'm demand civil. I'm asking to go civilian.
Yeah, and they just fucking boot them.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so after that month, what's after that?
So you march back.
60 Ks?
Yes, it's a Kepi Blanc March, which is actually kind of a cool event. You're marching through the French countryside and you're sleeping in churches. An interesting thing that I found in Legion is there's this integrated thing with the religious community, with the French Foreign Legion. I don't know why that is that way, but it is. And we would sleep at these churches in the mountains of the French Pyrenees. Very beautiful, hard, freezing and raining, some of it. So, but you get back and then you're like kind of a second grade legionnaire. You're still shark shit on the bottom of the ocean. Engagé volontaire, they say you're a committed volunteer. But now you get the kepi, which is like that famous kind of historical hat you see.
The white one?
The white one. And that has the history from Algeria, right? It would get bleached in the sun. That's kind of the history of that. They do a nice ceremony, and then you're at boot camp doing boot camp shit. Yeah. Inspections, folding. Now things are going to get more formal, and you're doing a lot of ruck runs too. They're big on like one of their baselines is a 5-mile ruck run with pack out. And you have 45 minutes or 50 minutes to kind of run this thing. So they're big on that test. It's called the March Commando, the Commando Run or Commando Walk. So they have some baseline French wickets they need to hit that are military wide, and that's where you're going to be doing that. They're big on the cord. They're big on hands only, up and down the rope. They had no feet. The French are just big on that. So 2 times up and down the rope, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and you're doing iterations of that.
And so you're in like a barracks and it's more.
Now you're in a barracks, more formalized environment.
So you're a little warmer at night, I imagine.
Yeah. So it's things get a little bit better. Now you're kind of hitting the obstacle course and stuff. The obstacle course is very tight, smaller obstacles than like what we do in buds and stuff, but the time's tight. It's like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and you got to be kind of moving.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask, the farm, that whole time, do you know about what elevation you guys were at?
That's a really good question. I want to say we're like, man, we were only probably 500 meters. We weren't that high.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't too bad.
No.
And then where you're at for the actual rest of the boot camp thing, is that lower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Does the food increase at all when you're at that?
A little bit. It gets a little bit better. Yeah. So you're a little bit better now. Your environment's a little bit better.
What's the weirdest fucking thing that they ever served you food-wise? Or is it all just pretty plain?
Man, escargot, bro.
Really?
Yeah, snails.
Like they eat a lot
France, bro.
Fuck that.
Yeah, man.
You like them?
Man, I like anything at that moment, man. Yeah. I was housing. I found, though, that a lot of the French guys are very picky about what they eat.
Oh, yeah?
So I was sitting next to the fucking French dude. I would find little Frenchie every meal, bro, because I knew I was getting double portions.
About what percentage of French nationals are going through that?
Man, less than 5.
Really?
Yeah, it's less than 5, and they make them Canadians.
Really?
That's how they process them in. They take their name the same, and now they're a Canadian.
No shit.
Yeah, a French Canadian.
Yeah. What do you have an idea of what the perception from the regular French military is of you guys?
they like us. They like working with us. And I deployed with them in Estonia with the Alpine Hunters because ended up being a part of the 27th Mountain Infantry Brigade. That's what I was attached to. They love the Legionnaires because we're like very disciplined, a very disciplined unit, and very content with not much. Yeah. So pretty positive about, like, they'd be complaining and we're like, man, dude, we're getting, man, look what we got here. They're like, what the fuck, you guys serious? You know?
So you guys are good dudes to have. I mean, it's kind of like Marines. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would say you hit the nail. The French Foreign Legion is like the Marine Corps in the 1980s.
Yeah.
That's how it's a very similar unit.
Yeah. Okay. And there's about, what, 10,000?
I think it's about
8,000.
Yeah, eight something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess back to the boot camp experience. So the remaining 3 months of the selection, is it still considered selection?
It's still considered selection. Okay. Yeah.
Is all there, and it's all just boot camp type stuff, or how long had you been there in that 4 month block before you actually fired an actual round?
So we were doing blanks and stuff like that during the farm.
Yeah.
Then when we get to live rounds, they take you out to a formal French military range. Pretty much right when we got back.
Okay.
And we're shooting. So
not up at the
month.
farm.
Yeah, a month. Yeah. A month in, after we do the weapons manipulation, they take us out there.
Comparing, and I know I'll get this more than the listener, but I'm just going to ask you to imagine comparing SEAL ranges, and especially going through Bud's SQT or whatever, the way that they're run, the emphasis on safety and protocol and all that kind of shit. How does the Legion's training process as it relates to ranges compare?
The process that I experienced in the SEAL community was way better in the progress of it, how it worked. Yeah. It was the smallest manipulations were, in third phase were hammered, and there's not that same level of scrutiny, and they rush it. In the French Foreign Legion, there's this at ranges, which is a very negative point. They rush. They want to get guys through, and it's like a very stressful environment.
Yeah.
It's a very stressful environment, and so obviously the stress, and they're not hitting those small weapons manipulation safety things that they should be.
So are you looking around like, Jesus Christ, what are these fucking guys doing?
Yeah, for sure. I had a lot of moments like that.
Yeah. Were there any accidents?
I've never seen anything crazy, but I mean, I've seen a couple guys clack rounds off in rooms.
Yeah.
More than once. Yeah. Like on guard, like just us in the office here.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like,
it reminds me of
like full automatic.
Holy fuck.
Spraying.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Did they kick them out?
3 round boots. They send him to jail and then
and bring him back.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that movie, The Other Guys, with Will Ferrell and Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Where he fucking do the cherry pop off. He gets him to shoot in the fucking police precinct.
Office pop or desk pop.
Yeah. Fucking Christ, man. That's crazy. All right. So going through that, is it just pretty cumulative and linear in terms of the training ramp up, what you're learning, what you're doing?
Yeah. And it's very basic.
And I mean, are you doing more than normal Army shit? I mean, are you guys doing raids, room clearing, stuff like that, or?
Not much here. And that's one thing, and you get in later, but that's one thing that the Legion definitely I saw a glaring problem with, is that the TTPs aren't there. There's not this standardization across the Legion in general. It's like whatever the LPO's doing or whatever the chief's doing, then that's the thing.
I got you.
So
there's a lot of discrepancy.
Tons.
I guess what else are you learning during that 4 month block?
So you're doing some demo also, like the Legion does a lot of demo. So you're learning a little bit about, the deck cord and all that shit, the trucks, the driving, and then you're starting to learn more about the different MOSs, the different jobs, because the Legion's got them all. They have parachute, cavalry, all these different things you can do. Engineers. And so now they're starting to ask you where you want to go.
Yeah.
What regiment do you want to go to?
There's 4 main ones, right?
There's 4 or 5, but you have infantry, cavalry, parachute, engineering. Yeah, okay. So the basic ones, 4.
And did you pick one?
So I was kind of guided to, because there's 2 commando groups, which are like more leveled up. There's Mountain Commando Group and Parachute Commando Group. So I was directed by Legion leadership, like, hey man, the guys who are deploying the most is the Mountain Commando Group. So you should probably go to that regiment. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do this commando shit. I'm going to try to push this thing all the way. So that's what I did. I asked for the Mountain Regiment and was on that path.
Yeah. How would you say you fared in the eyes of the cadre during that 4-month selection? Like,
they were pissed because I couldn't run, man. They're like, a Navy SEAL can't run. I'm like, man, running for the enemy, man. Le footing est pour l'ennemi.
Yeah. I wish I knew what you said. I mean, I have an idea. But overall, I mean, did you get a sense that they liked having you there? And
yeah, because as a kind of I wasn't drinking any Kool-Aid, and I wasn't stressing about I had been to the puppet show and seen all the strings, I was 34 too, man.
You know the game.
I know the game, so I'm just like not stressed out about it. And so that was pissing me off sometimes because I understood the bigger picture, what we were doing. And it took him a while, and then they just kind of got, this guy doesn't give a fuck. We can yell at him and run, and he's going to keep Charlie Mike and his own pace.
Yeah, that's wild. That's cool. Is there any relationship with the cadre at all, or is it very compartmentalized?
It's pretty compartmentalized.
Yeah.
They keep it pretty strict.
Yeah. Because I know, like in Buds, it's kind of a weird mix. I don't know if that was your experience. I mean, me as a student and as an instructor, there were times where I wouldn't say you fraternize, but you may, like there was, a couple of instructors that, if you want to say, took me under their wing or had a preference, whatever you want to call it. And then me as an instructor, there were a handful of students, and I was like, man, I like that kid. I hope he does well. I'm gonna try to help him. Was there any of that?
And you got to remember, all the main instructors are all Russian speakers.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't getting much love.
Yeah.
But they grew up with their guys.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they look out for theirs.
Yeah. Was there any? Now it's, especially with like what's going on in the world, is there almost a microcosm of the macrocosm that is the geopolitics of the
geopolitics is absolutely the French Foreign Legion is a crucible or a petri dish of what's going on in the geopolitical spectrum.
So it mirrors that.
Take for instance right now, you got a war in Ukraine. There's not a lot of Ukrainians in now because they're fighting.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of guys at my company desert to go fight. So where you normally would have all these Ukrainians, now they're all in Ukraine.
Do they hate the Russians?
There's not a lot of Russians in the Legion.
They're like from Belarus, or
they're Belarusia and Ukraine. It's kind of like America, like 1 or 2 Russians, and they're usually from Siberia or somewhere.
Yeah, that's a trip, man. I guess I'm going to jump ahead here for just a second. With watching everything that went on with Russia and Ukraine, and being in a European special operations group at the time, like what's your guys' as a collective and individually, kind of what's your perception of what's going on, why it's happening, what role you should play, if any, comparatively to what we think here and what we're fed by the media?
It's much more real there, because all the guys I was with, a huge percentage of them were having to go back and get their moms and and sisters and stuff, or go to fight. So it was like real conversations. They go like, hey, one morning they're like, hey, all the Ukrainians come to the front. Okay, do you want to go back to Ukraine? Like we'll give you, a leave period to go fight or get your family. And France was actually pretty cool. They said any guy who's a Legionnaire can go get his family and bring them to France.
Really? Mm-hmm. Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
About how many percentage-wise Ukrainian fighters are there?
It was like 10 to 15 probably in the Legion.
Percent or?
Percent.
No shit.
Yeah.
So, that's a pretty sizable part of their force.
Huge chunk.
So if they all bail like that, that's...
Yeah, and some of them aren't going to bail because they want that French citizenship, but I know a lot that did.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Have any of them been killed?
2.
Oh.
Yeah, but I talked to a lot of them on FaceTime and stuff still, and they're out there.
Fucking battling it out.
Yep.
What's your take?
Man, I was thinking about going, it's like it was right there. And I was like, what do I do after this, And then I kind of realized that I'm like running from myself at some point. Like, what am I trying to prove, And it's hard because they have to fight. There's no option. There's Belarusia. There's a group. There's a Belarusian group. He's a former captain. He deserted from the Legion to go fight. His brother's dead. Everyone's dead. I was on the phone. He's like, yeah, it's war.
Is he fighting against Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're fighting, which I found interesting. I thought Belarusia was but they have a Belarusian group fighting against Russia, and then the Ukrainians, obviously. So they got to do it.
I guess the thing I'm most curious about is kind of internally, you guys collectively as a group.
It's not talked about much.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
It's not talked about much. It's just the guys who are Ukrainians are dealing with their shit, and the rest of it's just like, okay, we get sent where we do.
And politically, nationally, France doesn't have a position really. I mean, obviously they're not getting involved.
No, it's dissemination of information in the Legion is very much lag. It's very top down, and you're not getting much down.
So it's like the compartmentalization of the CIA, where it's like you could be working next to somebody and they have no idea what you do, and vice versa.
They don't. It's flow of communication is almost non-existent. It's orders, and that's it.
Okay. All right. So I guess going back to your timeline, and we can get back into some of the current day politics of it. But so you picked the Mountain Commando unit.
Well, where they are,
right?
Because it's going to take 2 years to even get the option to screen. You have to be invited. That was I kind of understood what the deal was, because it's not like a big unit. It's like 15 dudes.
Oh wow!
Right. It's a small group, and they deploy in twos with the actual commandos of France. So they don't deploy with the Legion.
Oh, okay.
So that's how that works.
And so you spent. Like once you graduate the selection, is there a graduation?
Yeah.
Like, is it a big deal?
No, it's a closed door.
Like here's a patch, fuck off.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So after that, then what?
The guys who selected the regiment, the Mountain Regiment, all your different selections, one day you get grouped up, somebody picks you up on a bus, and you go.
And so you went where?
To the Mountain Regiment.
Can you say where that is?
It's a little village called St. Christel, Petit Village, and it's a Deuxième Reg, Deuxième Régiment Intégré de Génie. It's like a second foreign engineering regiment, technically.
Okay.
But it's part of the 27th Mountain Infantry Brigade of France.
Okay. Do you know about how many active duty Army French soldiers there are?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know.
100,000? Less than that? Fuck, you know.
Probably about that.
Yeah. All right, so what was that like getting on the bus and going there and showing up?
Whew, man, I was a little nervous. I'm coming up, and it's the most isolated regiment in the Foreign Legion, so it's like a couple hours away from even the closest city. And we're getting up there, and the guy says something, and my French is still dog shit at this time, so I didn't know what he said, and I'm just not paying attention. But what he had said was, hey, tough luck for you guys tonight, because there's a fucking party at the company you're going to. Some guy's going to commando group, so everybody's drunk as shit. I didn't hear him say that. So it's like a Tuesday night at the company. We're showing up at night, and I walked in, and it smelled like a frat house, and I went, oh no. And I see a guy with no shirt on.
All dudes, or were there chicks there?
All dudes, man. It's at the Legion, bro. It's a sausage fest 24/7, bro. No chicks aren't allowed, man. There's like no women on any bases.
But even in the surrounding village, they're not bringing... Because team
guys
are going to fucking find a way.
There's nothing like that. Yeah. Only on Christmas they have like strippers come in. Yeah. Dead serious. They have like a stripper come in on Christmas, man.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But so that was a haze fest that night. I was in my dress uniform crawling through the fucking snow all night.
Holy shit.
Dead serious, man. They put me in this room. There's like rat shit on the bed. And I just remember being like, oh, fuck, this is going to be a rough 5 years, bro. Yeah. But it ended up not being like that. It was just a bad night.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the hazing comparison to the SEAL teams, I know a fair bit's changed even from the time I was in to the time you were in. Hazing was no fucking joke, when I was in. I mean, they did some shit that was fucking brutal, I mean, it was like straight out of SEER. I mean, it's worse than SEER school, honestly. Like, it was some shit straight out of fucking the Al Qaeda handbook. I mean, it was like, So was there a lot of that? Like, did they fuck with you? Did they put hands on you? Are they trying to wrap
there
you up?
was some friction at first, but then it kind of wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad. If you're kind of locked on, things were okay.
Now, from your position, like if, let's say you walk into that environment, they're drunk, they start fucking with you, and you're defending yourself, holding your own because you're sober, capable, whatever, like, is that going to be a strike against you? Or it's
not going to look good. I knew it was going to be, it was rough that night because you even have leadership in there really wasted.
Yeah.
Like Master Chief E9s in there smashed. And it's like one of the E9s open hand slapped one of our dudes that like, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, this is like getting wild. It ended up not being like that. If this is the first night, I was like, this is going to be really rough, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Anybody try to slap you or anything like that?
No, I never had that, not once.
What would you have done if they had?
I would have slapped the shit out of them, bro.
Yeah. Do you still train jiu-jitsu?
No.
Ever since the knee?
Nah, man. I don't want to get hurt again, man. So I train some striking and stuff like that. I prefer to strike and just, that's kind of more my thing.
From a combative standpoint, is there a lot of training Legion-wise?
They focus on like a Krav Maga type stuff.
I gotcha.
That's what they're into.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. It's all right, man. It's not fun to train.
Yeah.
Getting twisted your hands and wrists all the time.
Yeah.
But they use it because the Legion, one of the big things is, which we wouldn't do in the United States, they use the Legion to patrol in internal France.
Really?
Yeah. So you do these missions called like the mini deployments, internal France for 2 months, and they send you to all big, because they have a huge terrorist problem in France. Yeah. And you do 2 month called Vigiparat missions, which is an internal domestic anti-terrorism mission. Wow. And you just patrol with assault rifles. Like we went to Nice in the summer. I was patrolling on the French Riviera with a HK.
No shit.
And the French are like, hey, what's up? Totally they love it. No, they love it. They're like, hey, what Legionnaire is cool.
Yeah. If an actual active attack happened during that, would you guys be responding?
Yeah. That's our job.
I mean, so that's kind of a trip and a huge disparity between the United States and the Legion as it relates to France. Then is because you'd never see that here.
I think it's against the Constitution to actually have and there it is absolutely a go.
Part of the deal.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So going back to the night after the hazing, it's a little rough, but then the next morning and subsequent weeks, how did that go?
It was a rough transition because you're doing like low man on the totem pole stuff, like real low, cleaning toilets, working in the kitchen sometimes. Because if you're not training, you're cleaning. And if you don't have anything to clean, you're painting rocks. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Paint rocks white and stack them in pyramids. I can't make this shit up, man.
Dude, that's fucking wild. How many guys were at that outpost or station or whatever?
There's like technically at the regiment I was at, it was like 800 guys. But there's on cycles of rotations because you're deploying. That regiment deploys a lot.
Okay.
So they're cycling through companies going to South America, doing the piece down in the jungle, and then also in Africa. So the French are pretty heavy in Africa.
Yeah. So from the time you got there until you deployed, how long were you there?
I hit a really lucky clip. I showed up at the Mountain Regiment, and I hadn't even been in a year. And they immediately send me to French Guiana to do a 4-month deployment in the jungle down there, doing interdiction for illegal gold mining, interdiction to drug. And we're blowing up and hitting gold mines like every other day.
So that's where the teeth came from. Man,
that's exactly right. And I know why France is down there. I mean, gold's like laying on the ground. It's like the Wild West down there.
Really?
It is completely free for all. We were on the Suriname, French Guiana border, controlling some flow of boats, and it's in contingent with the French gender arms. And so you're patrolling with them in the jungle. I mean, 14-day patrols in the jungle.
And you're stringing up a fucking hammock and whatever at night? Or, yeah,
exactly.
What's kind of the ROE or standing orders of why you're there? Like what?
Presence patrol and just blowing up gold mines.
So like if people are illegally mining gold, it's your job to combat that? I mean, kind of like the counter-narc stuff.
So we would patrol. We'd know a gold mine we're hitting. We'd go in, run them all off because you got to catch and release. You can't just keep patrolling with these guys. You can't control the bodies. So you run them all off, then you burn all their shit, you literally burn it. It's scorched earth. So you set fire to all their buildings they built. Then the Navy SEAL gets to go in the mercury-filled lakes, dead serious, because I'm the only motherfucker that can swim. And they'd be like, hey, Navy SEAL, go get the pipes and drag the things out. So I dive in. I mean, lakes that are in the middle of the Amazon that like glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Man, it probably wasn't good for me, man. And so then I'm dragging out their engines, their diesel engines and stuff, and then we're smashing those up.
Yeah. So that makes me curious, a couple of things. How is from a workout standpoint, like, are there any facilities? I mean, obviously it doesn't compare to what it sounds like, we have in the SEAL teams as far as performance-oriented gyms and trainers, but even from a rehabilitation, like physical rehab standpoint and medical care standpoint, is there a huge disparity between the American military and where you've been?
Yeah, I mean, it's bare bones funding. They have gyms and stuff. It's just not, the culture's not quite there. If you do get hurt, they will take care of you. Yeah. I tore my calf, and they took good care of me, man. Like they sent me to the hospital, and the doctors were good and all that shit. Yeah. And then they're sending you to rehab, and you're actually spending some time doing it.
Yeah. So it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah.
All right. So back to French Guyane. Is that how you pronounce it?
Guyane Francais.
Forgive my ignorance. Where exactly is that?
Yes. I mean, I didn't know when I showed up there. A lot of people don't know that France has territory in South America, and so does. You got Suriname, and people in Europe, they got their little piggies down there strategically. So it's just north of Brazil. Okay. On that northeastern kind of edge on the Caribbean. That's where it is.
Okay. So you're doing 2-week patrols, and it's a 4-month stint, right?
Yep.
What are you doing? You do a 2-week patrol, and then how long do you have off?
So we're on an outpost. So we stayed on the outpost for about 2.5 months in a 8-hour riverboat to this small outpost. And that's where we lived, doing 24-hour security there, cooking for ourselves in this little kind of outside kitchen and living in a tent and sleeping in cots with the zip up things. And so we're just working on the camp and doing the bullshit and then doing the security for the boats traffic.
Okay. So the 14-day rotations, when you would go out, other groups would be back at the camp.
Yeah, exactly.
14 on, 14
some days you do a 3-4 day patrol with a specific target or a specific objective. Some days would be longer. Some days would be some operations would be longer or shorter.
Okay. And about how many of you guys are at this camp?
We had, so it's split up into they're called groups, which are like groups of 8 guys. A group is 8 guys. One guy being a non-commissioned officer. Sergeant.
So there's only 8 of you there?
No, we had 24. Okay. So three groups of 8.
Okay. Were there, that part of Brazil and in that region, narcotics is a big fucking part of it too. Like, were you guys running into any of that stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so we'd run into that and blow and burn all that shit up.
Those guys, I can't imagine the gold would take too kindly to it either, but the cartel guys, they don't fuck around. Are you...
No, there's people dying down there.
Yeah, so are you guys mixing it up with them that way, or are they, when they see you, they just bail?
Most of the time, they're trying to get out of there. They're not trying to run into the military. But if they get, kind of put in a pinch.
Yeah. Is there, any political friction between France and Brazil and any countries that you guys...
It's like Wild West. They just kind of, everybody just turns a blind eye.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising to hear in today's day and age.
Everyone's just like, whatever's going on down there is just kind of like...
Yeah, just forget about it.
Yeah, just forget about it.
Do you know from France's position what the interest is there?
Oil and gold, and just a strategic piggy in South America.
Like they're financially benefiting from...
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And there's a huge legal gold mining thing that... companies come in and pay a lot of money to France. So that's why they make sure that there's not illegal stuff. They're like, if you're going to be gold mining gold, you're going to be paying us.
I gotcha. On the record, off the record, you're raiding fucking gold mines. Are you guys ever doing the fucking like...
Man, I personally never found any good nuggets, but...
that has to happen.
Yep.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's a trip. You guys making your own food? Are you sourcing shit from local?
Man, I will say this though. It's shocking where you find Chinese people, man.
Yeah.
They are industrious. Middle of the jungle on a riverboat, you'll just come across a Chinese store and they have everything.
No shit.
In the middle, it's like they'll have like a whorehouse and then a grocery store. Dead serious.
Yeah.
On the Suriname side, it's more like pirate, and they get all the supplies from Chinese shipping, and so you can go buy stuff, cigarettes. They had all that stuff there, but we're getting all of our food for the most part through French lines, and it's big canned stuff that they're putting on boats. Every 2 weeks, we'll get some kind of a shipment in.
Are you guys supplementing with the Chinese markets?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, is that a little dicey though? I mean,
no, they're cool. You know, they
like you're not worried about them poisoning shit or anything.
No. They're good with it. No, those guys are just shirtless, shoeless, and they're just out there living.
Yeah. Are there any women in the area that you're in that environment?
The indigenous, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. About what is your salary at this point when you're there?
So down there, we're actually not making too bad. So I'd say probably Euro-wise, we're making about 35, so about $4,000 a month, probably. So it's not terrible, right? You don't have any bills. You're living in the jungle. It's not great, but when you're French troops, when they deploy, okay. Yeah. But when you're back garrison,
nothing.
Dog shit, yeah.
So it's all like special duty pay kind of shit?
Yeah, exactly. And particularly in the jungle because you have like isolated post pay and like that type of stuff.
Yeah. How many different uniforms do you have as a Legionnaire?
You have your parade uniform. Bien sure, of course. The Legion loves their parades. So you have that uniform. You have a kind of a normal dress uniform. It's kind of like the Army, with the jacket and stuff. Then you have obviously your fatigues, and then you wear your fatigues with the kepi. So that's a fourth one. Really 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you do a 4-month stint down there. You come back. How long were you back for? And did you go back to that same mountain unit?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we come right back, and then you go on vacation. They're pretty good about your vacations. You get pretty much 2 months off a year.
Oh, wow.
It's a requirement. So you
get double the American military.
Yeah. So you get it's Europe, baby. Yeah. They're all about that work-life balance.
So was that the first downtime that you had? Yeah,
that was the first downtime, but it was COVID. Interesting thing, we were down there in the jungle. COVID didn't exist. Nobody knew. It was like this is during the lockdowns and all that shit.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody even knew what it was.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what are you talking about COVID? Everyone's still good down there, man.
Yeah. Wow.
So we got back and it's lockdown.
And was the French military a big, did they buy into that just the same way?
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking horrible.
Yeah, they were juicing up. I must have took 59 million
vaccine
shots, man.
Yeah, man. No choice.
No choice. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure not.
Fuck. Making you wear a mask and all that shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we got into France and they were about the lockdowns too. So, but we're on vacation. So I got an Airbnb and I'm just like in this town.
Yeah. How was that after? Because like trying to put myself in your shoes, like that whole transformation from the day that you decided to join in Hawaii, and like it seems like from hearing your story, from the day you decided that until that leave, there was no fucking break, right?
Zero.
And this is a couple of years, right?
That's
a year and a half.
That's a year and some change. Yeah, a year and like 3-4 months. Yep.
That's like a fucking weird mental space to get into. Like, was it almost weird now all of a sudden being on vacation, not being told what to do?
That's really good question. I felt great, man. It felt so good to be done with a deployment and like coming out of the fog. And this is kind of where I start to kind of come out of the fog, right where you just brought up, was when I'm like, then I start to like get my discipline back on my own. I'm like, okay, I can go start working out in the mornings, start getting into that flow. And that's when that kind of momentum started.
I can only imagine or at least hope that in that vacation period you ate a fuck ton.
Man, dude, I was housing, man.
Yeah.
I was housing food.
Would be. Yeah.
I was loving every minute of just the autonomy.
Yeah. Because, that's one thing France is known for, is really good fucking food, right?
Man, the autonomy was just unbelievable. Yeah. And France, they get down.
Yeah. To me, that's kind of a weird it's a surprise and a bit of a seeming contradiction in that as proud as they are and big as they are on food, ingredients, freshness, preparation, the way that it's made, like, I mean, that's a fucking an element to their identity nationally. For it to be that fucked up in the military, like, is weird.
You know, it's, yeah, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, how does that happen? I don't know.
Sometimes you'll get some pate or something. You'll get, every once in a while, you get like something weird, fancy, but it's rare.
Yeah. So during that time, you're eating a fuck ton. Where were you at?
So now I'm in Avignon, which, if you don't know, is right on the Rhine. People that don't know, and that's where the Pope actually was during at one point, long time ago. There's a beautiful church there, and Avignon. It's a medieval castle city. Castles all over the place. Yeah.
Man.
So I'm staying right on the exterior wall.
Yeah.
In an Airbnb that's like revamped. It's really cool.
Yeah.
On the Rhine.
Anything crazy that you ate during that time? Was it all normal shit or like French food?
Yeah, normal shit.
Normal shit. All right. So how long were you on vacation for?
A month.
All right. So you go back and then what?
So now we're starting to get prepped for that domestic internal mission. That was almost like right when we got back.
Okay. So you went down to Nice.
So we're doing combatives. So you start with all the combatives and stuff for prisoner handling and things like that.
Yeah. How would you stack yourself against all the commandos that you work with physically and combatives wise?
Man, some of the cats that go into the actual GC commando actually make it through there, because I ended up failing part of that selection and I ended up not making there, but I needed to re-up 5 more years, and so I wasn't really going to do that either. Some of those guys are studs, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horses.
Yeah. So can we go to that, the failing? Like, when did you fail?
So I was invited by that group, and they're like, hey, man, do you want to screen? And I had been promoted, so I made corporal. And so that's in the Legion, that's kind of a big step. You got to go through another bunch of O courses and all that shit. So I get that, and I come back, and they say, okay, you want to screen for GCM? I said, yeah. And I went and kind of gave it my go, but I failed one of the initial run times tests, and I took it, and I fucking failed. Yeah. It wasn't like close. Yeah. And I took it as, I was in pretty good run shape too, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to pass this fucking time. And at this point, I'm 37, man.
When was this in relation to the vacation and the interior deployment and all that? Was it before that?
No, it was after.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was like a whole nother year after.
Okay. So you take vacation, you come back, you do the interior deployment. The interior deployment, did anything happen, or was it
no, casual?
Routine?
Yeah, pretty routine.
Where are you guys staying?
So they have a small little base interior of Nice that was like an old hotel. They just turned into a base for guys doing the Vigiprop mission.
Okay, and about how many of you are there doing that?
We have almost our whole company, so probably about 70 dudes.
Okay, and what's the rotation like?
It was a lot of work. So we were doing 6 days on, 1 day off the full from like 7 in the morning to, and mind you, we would have been doing it at night, but it was COVID lockdowns. So we were doing 7 in the morning until evening time.
Okay. And that's, you said 4 months?
2
months. At this point, has the camaraderie kind of gotten to where you're talking about, like, guys?
Yeah, so now you're starting to get bonded, because now you've done multiple deployments with this. A lot of these guys have been together for a lot of years, too.
In this group of doing the interior deployment, what's the breakdown nationality-wise?
So it's about 15% Ukrainians, 15% Nepalese, me.
So there's no other American?
No. And one, but he went to Ukraine to fight.
Oh, okay.
So, and he's still there, prior Marine. And one, you got a South Korean or two. You got some Brazilians. You got some Colombians. Colombian's another one. And then a couple Spanish guys. You got a pretty good spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys training together combatives-wise?
Yeah.
Off hours, like?
Some guys are. Yeah. Some guys who are more into the boxing will actually, they have a pretty good fight gym actually at the regiment I'm at.
Any of the Brazilians jiu-jitsu guys?
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so you finished that deployment. Did they consider it a deployment?
Yeah, it's Vigiparat mission. They call them missions. They call them deployments missions, but it's considered a mission.
Yeah. Is the food any better during that point?
No.
Even in Nice?
No.
They're still feeding you like shit.
Well, yeah, no, they're still feeding you like contracted food for a mission.
I gotcha. So it's the same shit you were eating down in...
Pretty much.
Yeah, like canned fucking crap.
Yeah, for the most part.
Anything weird?
No, it's
like beans and rice.
I mean, you'd think France was like getting fancy, but I mean, it is raw, man. The food's much better in the United States for the military.
Wild.
Way better.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so you finish that, you go back to the Mountain Commando group, right?
Yeah.
Did you try out for, you said it's GCM?
Yeah,
what does that stand for?
Group Commando Montagne, so Mountain Commando Group.
Okay. So that's separate from the group that you were in.
Yeah, so that's just a specialized unit, interior of the same regiment.
Okay. So you go back to that regiment. Did you go to Estonia before you tried out, or did you try out?
I tried out, didn't make it, and then we went to Estonia like a month later.
Okay. So if you had said, hey, I'd like to retry, they were saying you'll have to re-up for another 5 years.
Well, I was going to have to re-up even if I made it. So it was that was the thing. It was like, then I looked at the pipeline. The pipeline's a year to get into the commando group. And then they actually wanted me to go PCG also, where they have a commando combat diving group that's attached to, what's that?
What's the PCG stand for?
Plungers to Combat Jenny. So plungers. So so it's a combat diving engineer technically. Okay. But they're doing over the beach attacks. They're doing all that shit. And that's attached with GCM at the same regiment. They were like, and that's a 2-year fucking pipeline. And I'm looking at, I'm 37. Yeah. I need another 5. They want me there for 5 years after I finish the pipeline.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, man, dude.
Yeah. So that 1-year pipeline for the group that you didn't make it, is that pretty high speed special ops kind of stuff?
I wouldn't call it special ops. I would call it high level shock troop shit. You know, I mean, they're doing fast roping. They're doing some jumping. They're doing, serious room clearances. And when I did, because GCM is actually a French entity. It's just they have that small group of Legionnaires that actually are GCM also. Yeah. And those guys are legit, man. Like I trained with them in Estonia and I was doing close quarters combat with them because they knew I could do it also. So I was sent to actually train with them. They know what they're doing. Yeah. Yeah, they know what they're doing in a house. Yeah.
Was there a significant involvement from the French Foreign Legion in Iraq and Afghanistan at the height of? Yeah,
they were in there. So the French Foreign Legion has fought in every war since its inception.
Yeah, which was 1830 something.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know what they did in Iraq and Afghanistan? I mean, were they doing some pretty heavy shit?
They're doing a lot of mortars. They're doing a lot of infantry stuff, basic infantry patrols. They're doing a lot of mine clearances also.
All right. So that unit, the GCM, about how many guys are in that? Do you know?
It's like 10 or 15. It's like 15 dudes.
Oh, wow. Small group.
Yeah, and they deploy in twos. They attach because technically they're the demolition specialists.
Okay. All right. So don't make it through that. You end up deploying to Estonia a month later, and that's what, a 4-month?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we actually ended up being there for 5, and that was a part of the NATO and Enhanced Forward Presence Battle Group. They had them in Latvia, in Poland, and the Brits on this one. So it was with the UK, the Danish, Estonians, and the French.
And what were you doing there?
Flexing on the border of Russia.
Yeah, just show of
force. I mean, we would go out and do a lot of exercise. It was also kind of learning how to work together. There's a language piece. A lot of the French don't speak English, even the officers, not well. So finally, me being able to speak English came in handy. They're like, hey, bro, will you speak English for us? And so that was cool. It was cool running into the Brits when we were in the woods doing stuff. Yeah. And they'd be like, I'm like, hey, bro, it's cool. And they're like, what the hell, man? They're like, and so, but man, we'd roll out on exercises, man, with 86 tanks.
Damn.
86 tanks that we rolled out one time. I had never seen a movement like that.
And these are all Brit tanks or a mix?
Yep. Yeah. Brits, yeah.
Wow. In that 4 months, were there any tit for tats with any Russian troops, or was it?
No, I mean, they'd be flying helicopters and stuff along the border, and there was a lot of that kind of tension, and we'd be blowing stuff up on this side. But nothing. There was no exchange of actual,
accommodations wise, were you in tents, barracks?
No, now we're in a nice building. We're in a nice, pretty building, but we're stacked in, racked on cots next to each other. But you're in a nice building. on an Estonian base.
Yeah. Any time off where you got to go experience Estonian culture?
Yeah, man. And so they would give us a few, every once in a while they give us a kind of a full day off. And fuck, Estonia is nice, bro.
Yeah.
I had no idea, man. They're huge on those spas, like those, I don't even know what you'd call it, but like jacuzzis and all that shit. So we'd all go and just
like a bathhouse.
Yeah, bathhouse. They're like huge there. And dude, man, women are beautiful, like unbelievably beautiful.
Do they speak Estonian?
Speak Estonian. That is a difficult language.
Is it like
tough
Russian?
people, man?
Yeah,
yeah, man. Jokes don't really hit them really right. They're cold people.
Yeah, no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Man, anything else happen of significance on that trip?
Man, that was I'm grateful for that trip because it was just a good way to kind of get reset and kind of work with the English and the Danish, and the Danish are cool, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. The ambiance with the and their fucking gear is shit hot. I had no idea. They are stacked, man. Cry head to toe, dude. Like all of them, and they're all. I'm like a short guy, dude. I felt like a midget, man. They're all giants, looking great, and their unit cohesion is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Their leadership. I saw some really just some of the best units I'd seen in terms of ambiance.
What groups from Denmark were there? Was their special operation?
Yeah, they're doing mechanized infantry.
Oh, okay.
Generally.
So it wasn't even their soft guys.
No, just their mechanized infantry units. And fuck, dude, those guys just the unit cohesion was fantastic. Yeah. The best I have ever seen, probably, of any foreign unit.
Wow. I mean, comparative to the U.S.?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was up there, like like the leadership all the way down, like in a fucking good mood.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you roll back from there and you go back to that same mountain unit.
Yep. So I go right back, and now we're coming up on actually another going on a vacation. That's the first time I actually got to go home.
Oh, okay.
So now we're about 3 years in, 3 years and some change.
And so that 30-day block, you come back to the States?
Yeah, I went back, so I got to see my, for Thanksgiving that whole time, see the mom and stuff.
During the entire time that you've been in the Legion, what's communication like with email, social media, et cetera, back home, presence on there? Is it non-existent? Are they hard on you with that? Do you get to talk to your parents?
Yeah, I mean, you're living a normal life with your phone and stuff.
Okay.
So for that first initial time coming into the Legion, you're cut off.
Yeah.
It's completely cut off. You can't get a cell contract. You don't have a passport. There's all these issues, but you figure it out. And then next thing you know, you got your phone and you're living normal life.
Yeah, but you're still on base the whole time, right?
It's required, yeah.
What was it like coming back to the States after?
Oh, man, fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah. Was it weird or just awesome?
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Did you go back to Boston or San Diego?
I went back to San Diego.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what did you do while you were home?
Dude, I went home, but then I also went to Hawaii because I still got a truck out there and there's some things I had to square away. So that was cool. I went out there with my mom. Yeah. We stayed out in Hawaii for a couple of weeks and then back in. Yeah, fantastic, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was last Thanksgiving.
Okay. During the entire time, is drug use, do they test often? Is that something?
Yeah, if you're coming in through the gates, they'll drug test you. Like I've been drug tested 3 times coming back through the gate.
Okay. And I'm assuming you've stayed away from all that shit since you've been.
Yeah, man, nothing.
Same with drinking or I guess I kind of already.
Yeah, I kind of dabbed, but I just started focusing on my disciplines and shit more, man. I just, going to the bars is just, I don't see the point.
Yeah.
Trying to set myself up for success. And dude, I'm not going to keep trying to find happiness in the same place I keep losing it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I came to that realization at some point. I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I searching for?
Yeah, how many times do you have to get burnt before you stop touching the fucking stove? Right?
1,000%. It's just not setting myself. There's no great virtue I'm learning in some bar in Marseille at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Was going back to Hawaii, were there any difficulties in terms of how bad you struggled the last time you were there?
Man, I went back to that same place. I drove one night to the same place. I thought about killing myself. And I went into the jungle and I walked back there and I felt like a fucking victory lap, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I stood there and I went, man, get the chills thinking about it. I was like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, man, this is where you were, man, and fuck that, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you bring your truck back?
No, it's still there.
Still there. Can you have a vehicle in France where you're at?
After you pass my rank where you're at, you can technically request to buy a vehicle.
God, you got to request to buy a vehicle.
Oh, bro, dude. And it might not get in there. They'll be like, fuck off.
So as a corporal, you can't have one.
I can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's where you're at now. You could.
I could.
Yeah. There's no point really.
No.
Yeah.
Man, their public transport's great, dude, and they hook us up with the bus pass, like the bullet train passes.
Oh, okay.
So it's like we pay almost nothing, and yeah.
But so I mean, going through the chronological timeline of your time there and your schedule, you know, even though you've lived in Europe for several years, like it doesn't sound like you've seen a lot of it though, right? Other than
man, because you're not even really supposed to be leaving France without permission.
Yeah.
Also, so I haven't gone around much of Europe.
Yeah,
we've just been busy, man.
Yeah. All right, so you went back last Thanksgiving. You finally go home. It was awesome. You come back to what?
Talk about back in France.
Yeah.
We come back and we're just kind of resetting for the work, man. Resetting for. Now we're going on. Now I'm starting to go into team lead trainings. You know, they're sending me to, mountain team lead courses and shit like that.
Okay. And where's your head at this point? Like coming back, are you thinking, I'm going to keep doing this for a while? Fucking days are numbered. I want to pull chalks and go somewhere else.
So I started seeing the writing on the wall. And now I started to kind of focus on, I'm like, man, I need to get out of myself and I want to kind of like help people in that space. But I'm like, I got to make sure I'm good 100%. So I'm like, let me see how far I can push this. And so then I just started instituting these disciplines like way more than I was before. Now I'm tracking my macros. Now I'm getting up early. Now I'm not missing a day ever. And I started having this alignment that started to come and this clarity that came from it. And that's when I started to get this momentum and this clarity was coming over me and I wasn't missing it. And I was like, maybe I'll do this. And so that's when I started kind of thinking about, man, I've got a lot of lessons learned. I want to get this out. And that's when I started kind of forming up that whole thought process.
Yeah. So the goal then is to exit.
Yeah.
And are they aware of that?
Yeah. Well, I'm getting heat now because my YouTube exploded. And I looked at the phone one time and I'm in my barracks room and I go, I'm going to press record. I'm ready. And I just sent it. I do all my YouTube videos, one take, no edits. I never press the stop button. And so I do it stream of consciousness. And so I load my first video and I go, okay, man, the fucking thing gets 50,000 views in like my first upload. And I'm like, okay, the next one now it's a 350,000. And I'm like, oh no. And I start getting some heat because I'm in a uniform, not saying anything bad, but they're coming out hard. So I'm in kind of a legal battle with the Legion right now.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So I might not make it out of my second military fucking squeaky clean. I go, even stories of redemption aren't fairy tales, man. Yeah. So it is what it is, because they threatened me with back-to-back jail sentences, 40 days if I don't take my shit down. And I told them to fuck off. I'm not taking anything down.
The Legion did.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not taking anything down. So I'm in like a legal battle now. And they might just take me back and then go send me to jail until they kick me out. So I'm in like this weird fucking space right now. But I don't need the citizenship. I didn't come for the paperwork.
Yeah.
What do I fucking need? So for me, there's no benefit to kind of like caving. It does nothing for me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess from a big picture standpoint, to take it down temporarily, like until you get out, I mean, is that not an option?
No, because they're like, it's way past that.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So I mean, where are you at with them then? I mean, like, is the likelihood of you going back from this trip, or I guess how did you even?
I'm going to go back and I'm still going to continue to fight it with administratively. I'm doing all the right things administratively to try to keep this cordial, and also I'm taking the high road. I would never, everything I say is positive. The Legion saved my fucking life. And I say that very clearly. They're just concerned that they can't control the narrative if one day I decide. Yeah. And I've gotten tons of guys calling me from consultations, Marines, people that just want to get right. Some guys I say, hey man, it's a good situation. Some guys I say, hey, probably not. I've tried to give it to them straight, but I just want clean, good information. And there's an overarching message of, you're only going to fix yourself once I take ownership and realize that you're the one that's fucked all this up. And that's my whole message.
Yeah. And so in terms of where you're at unit wise, like when you go back from this trip, when do you go back?
So I go back immediately after this. I'll go back to France.
Oh, no shit. Like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I go tomorrow.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
What do you go back to? Like, have they put you in some kind of like hole?
Yeah. I'm not at the regiment. I'm at a private home and just fighting this from afar. Because if I go back, they're sending me to jail.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
So you have your passport, obviously, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm good. I'm like, technically, I'm all above board. Everything's above board, but it is what it is.
I mean, so like the guys that you've worked with, are they pissed?
No, they fucking love it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. They're
at what point in the chain of command are they coming down on you?
The DPLE, it's like their Legion police.
Okay. So the guys that you've worked with, they're all fucking cool.
Everybody loves it, man.
Yeah, okay.
I get nothing but love because it's all positive. It's just, they're like Navy SEAL in there. It's putting out a great.
Yeah, it's a cool fucking story.
Free fucking,
yeah.
free recruiting, man. It's like that.
No, it's a fucking incredible story, man. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It's fascinating. To me, they're foolish for not taking advantage of it, honestly. Like they could take it the same way the SEAL teams did with Lone Survivor and I can't think of the other movie that they made that actually started out as a recruiting video. The title escapes me, but you know that ultimately did them a lot of favors, recruiting wise. And I think the Legion could do the same thing from the sounds of it.
And I'm on my Twilight tour anyway. They know I'm not re-upping, so it's kind of like they're just going to I'm almost done.
How much time do you have left?
Man, I'll probably be out in like a few months because I can get out a little early just on terminal leave and be done. So that's why it's just kind of a waiting game, just waiting each other out.
I got you. So you go back, you're staying or I guess let me take one step back. You finish up, you come back from Estonia, you go back home for Thanksgiving last year. From when you came back until as you sit here today, at what point did it kind of come to this? Like, what did you do up until that point, and what month or when did it kind of start to go south where you had to go live in a private home? Or
so it started from an injury. So I was out at a mountain team lead course and I had torn the shit out of my calf in boot camp and I just never got it checked. I just kept running on it and it's still fucking deformed and shit. I did it at the farm. So, and then I'm on this like mountain thing. I'm like, man, this thing's kind of like messing up. Let me get this checked out. So they sent me to the hospital. The doctors are like, man, dude, I don't know how you're walking. So they sit me in the hospital for 6 weeks. So it's during this time where I'm like, got some time on my hands. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to start building this social media out. I had been waiting. It's time. That's kind of like I'm going to practice speaking in front of the camera. Started doing that like every day, like doing it very regimented. Then I started kind of building out posts in a company, and they started kind of like coming out of the fog and like, okay, I'm started doing this, and I started doing it on a schedule. And then they give me some time off to rehab. It was a requirement from the doctor. So now I'm still living in that private residence because I can't go back to the regiment like this. So I'm training.
Is this like a girlfriend's house or what?
Yeah, it's just a rented apartment.
Oh, I got you.
So it's like and so now they're just training more and more and more, more and more. And
but you can do that like
because I'm on, it's like a formal doctor's requirement. I can't be back at the regiment because I'm hurt. That's why. So that's where you get that approval from. Okay. It just worked out like that for me.
Yeah.
And so I have this freedom of movement. So I have like all this space. I go back to the regiment after some time. Now I have a new job, right? Because I'm done with the combat company. There's no more deployments on my schedule before I get out. So they put me in like a kind of a troop move. Like I'm just kind of moving trucks around and doing bullshit till my contract's up. That's really where I was at. And so it was during this period that I'm, launched the YouTube, and then I was on vacation when they actually called me. They're like, hey, you should take it down. I'm like, I'm not taking shit down.
And so at this point, when you do you even have to go back? I mean, could you not go back? I mean, what would they do?
Well, I'm going to go back because I want to try to do this correct, right? Yeah. Like I'm going to try to push it and correct until it is or it isn't.
Yeah. So you go back, you'll go to the residence. You're not going to go back to...
No.
Because they would arrest you?
Well, they already locked all my shit up in my fucking room too. So it's like they've already gone further than... Like I got nothing to go back to at the regiment.
Okay. So what's your plan then? I guess when you get back, you're going to be in the private residence and try to fight it from there?
Yeah. I'm just going to try to get the paperwork kind of processed correctly.
Do they know where you're at?
Yeah. Everything's on the up and up. 100% transparency on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's some wild shit.
Yeah.
What haven't I asked you?
Man, dude. And this is smooth, man. I like it.
I mean, I'm curious what your take is looking back on it.
Fucking fantastic. What I came in the Legion to do, learn some French, get some experience, meet a bunch of people from all over the world, contacts from every country. Vehicle self-development, got all my fucking tattoos finished. People that think they're tattooed, man, I'm tatted head to toe. Yeah. Everything in between, just no dick, no face. That's it.
Your sack's tattooed?
No, that too. Yeah, I missed that. Gotcha. But gooch, man, gooch, ass, everything.
No shit.
Yeah.
What, is there a theme to any of it?
Yeah, so I did, battle of good and evil, good, religious pieces. Then I got kind of my old world leg, my new world medieval and jungle and stuff, shit like that.
Yeah. What about your back?
My back's all battle of good and evil.
Oh, okay. What's it look like?
Demons and angels and all that, kind of that internal, external struggle. Did
you get most of it done over there?
I had a lot going into France, and I got a lot done there.
Yeah,
and a lot of fate and destiny, things like that.
Yeah. Tattoo wise over there, any price difference?
Man, it's pretty similar.
Yeah. And everything's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what now then? Let's say best case scenario, you write it out and they say, okay, you don't have to take it down. You just out-process you, whatever. Then what?
Man, I'm going into this coaching space. I'm already crushing it, man.
Are you coming back here? Or?
I'll be, because I got to be back here. And man, it just, any guy that's lost his mojo, man, I know exactly how to get it back. It comes back down to those basic disciplines. And it's just people have to strip it back down to the studs. You have to. You have to supplement correctly. You have to hit those early wake-ups. Guys have just lost that. And the minute they get it back, you can get alignment back.
But, I mean, are you going to move to San Diego or what? Where are you planning?
I'm gonna go back to San Diego and have a reset. I got to get my passport reset up. I'm going to see my mom. I got a storage unit. Just shit that I have to touch base on.
Yeah. But I mean, do you have like a 5-year plan, like where you want to live, what you want to? I mean, obviously,
I'd like to be in Florida at some point.
Really?
Because I want to set my LLC up there. The tax are better. I like kind of the political environment. The weather's good. I like that tropical environment. So that's kind of my game plan, is to end up in Florida.
Yeah. And would it be safe to assume mostly online coaching?
Yeah, I do a lot of it. I want to get it on the speaking circuit, get the book out, and I had to get myself good. And then once I don't have bad days, man. I can't remember last time I had a fucking bad day. Dead serious.
Yeah.
And all day I feel really good. I'm like, man, if you're not doing this, you're fucking wrong. And I talk to hundreds of guys a day. I have hundreds of clients, hundreds right now. Everybody comes back. You changed my life. You did this. I go, yep, that's it. You got fucking fit. You got discipline. You got control of your fucking life back. So you can start control everything you can. So you have bandwidth for the shit you can't. It's predictable. And I fucking love it. Like, man, it saved my marriage. I'm like, I love doing this. I'm really passionate about it. Man, I get up at 2 a.m. excited to fucking get people right. And then it keeps me accountable, man. You can't be preaching shit you're not practicing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. And I think that's a big problem with a lot of, whatever you want to call it, life coaches, fucking, business gurus, whatever. Like, a lot of it's bullshit.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, it's like they haven't built businesses or they're shells of what they actually are. They say that they're worth X number of billions of dollars, but it's all other people's money.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's cool to see your path and journey, and there's such a refreshing upfrontedness, about how you present your story and the things that you've been through and not hiding any of it. You know, it's like a lot of guys, I think, would shy away from trying to say some of the things that you've mentioned and talked about. And to me, that's such a crucial, that is the most crucial part of it for it to be effective, is so that people can relate and know, like, yeah, like this guy has fucking been there, done that. And I mean, when I look back at all the different things that you've done, the shit that you've been through, dude, it's just one fucking thing after the next, man. I mean, and like to keep going through that and whatever is truly inspiring, man. It's awesome.
and then fixing it so it doesn't. And then that was like, that's why I've been really grateful for this time, because now I feel good and the habits are set.
Yeah.
Like they're so set, and I fucking record them every day so people can see them every day. I crossed the bridge. I can't go back. It's too painful.
Yeah.
The friction is too tense to be able to go back. And so that's where I'm at, man. And so I try to get guys there. You just breach through that threshold of where those good, healthy habits are just rock solid. You can't go back.
Yeah. Within the Legion, how many other guys kind of prescribe to the same level of discipline that you do?
Fucking zero, man.
Zero, really?
There's nobody up at 3 working out in the bathroom.
Really?
Just
Nobody?
me. No, zero people.
Shit.
No, I'm the only one.
Really? Mm-hmm. Same with working out. Like it's not.
I mean, you got some guys that'll lift weights and stuff for sure. And you got disciplined guys who are in good shape.
Yeah, and good fighters and whatever.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of every aspect of their life.
Yeah, just that level of discipline. I mean, quasi psychotic. Even I can understand that. But
are any of the other dudes are steroids or performance enhancing shit a big deal there?
No, not a big deal. You know, because the running's so important, so that nobody's trying to be too big.
Yeah. Do they test for that also?
No.
Just the regular drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even weed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're strict on it.
Is weed legal in France?
No, it's still illegal. But in the Legion, it's like if you came through the gate and you popped for cocaine, they're like, hey, you don't do that again. And so you get sent to Legion jail, and Legion jail is you do yard work all day. Yeah. And then every morning you have to pick up a 15 kilo rock and you do a 15-kilometer run, and then you stack it on the thing, and you stack it in a pyramid in front of the regiment. And it's like the Great Pyramid of Egypt now in front of the regiment from all the guys going to jail.
That's fucking great. One question I was curious about Legion-wise, how big of a part does history play role-wise with your guys' education and training and all that? Like, do they
it's almost everything. Tradition is everything in the Legion.
Yeah.
Tradition is heavy. Learning about some of the only things you celebrate are Cameroon, you know, which every Legionnaire died in Mexico, and that's one of their biggest holidays. And so they still parade around the guy's wooden hand, the commander. So it's huge. You learn about all the wars, all the famous guys. And
from a Reader's Digest brief synopsis, how did it start? Where does it come from? Why does it exist?
So it started in the 1800s. An old king started it because he had a bunch of foreigners in France causing problems in the bars, bored, that he wanted to funnel back onto the battlefield to fight, get them out of the streets and funnel them back to the battlefield. And the carrot was, we'll give you French citizenship, kind of like that Roman Legion thing, you know, where you serve your time, and then you'll get citizenship for France. And that was why. And so now and also the political side is Legionnaires die. It's foreigners coming back in body bags and not French citizens. So it was a politically useful tool also to fight wars.
So it's almost like the bastard children that they can kind of say, well, it's not really France.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not, it's a gray area.
Yeah. What does happen? Like if you die as a Legionnaire, do they give you any type of French military burial?
Yes,
kind of
full.
Thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, full. And obviously the families would want the body in the United States. So they have all that organized ahead of time on your will.
Yeah. Okay. What's the top French special operations group that's in the regular?
Dude, it's called Premier Rima or Rema. It's like, they're Green Berets.
Just do any training with those guys?
No, those guys are legit though.
Yeah. I mean, do they look at you like, fuck these guys?
We don't run across them very much, but they're respectful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just totally different.
Yeah. Just a totally different world.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, to me, it's one of the most fascinating interviews I've done for sure. I mean, it's such a cool contrast, to hear time in the SEAL teams in between going to the Legion, all the different experiences. I mean, I love that you're writing a book because you have to, I mean, like the story is amazing and needs to be told. I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing it. Is there anything else that you'd like to bring up And also, where can guys find you if they want to do some coaching or
Well, I appreciate everyone for listening in. It's an honor to be here, Mike, for sure. I jumped at the chance, honestly, because I really respect what you've done and how you present yourself and present the community, for real.
I appreciate it.
So, but people can reach me on my Instagram, TCavOfficial. You can see what I do every day. I post it there and try to keep it light and right. And my YouTube, TCav TV, which I do all my long form videos about these lessons learned, man, and kind of the process in the Legion and stuff. If people want to know about that, it's always interesting. And the comparison between the SEALs and the Legion, which people find fun. And my website, TaylorCavanaugh.com.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to bring up about your time and story?
Man, it's, still getting written.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all breaks out. But however it does, man, I trust in God's path for me, man. That's the truth.
Wow, that's awesome. Last question. Platoon of team guys, 16 fucking of your most pipe-hittingest Legionnaire guys go into a bar. Who's coming out?
Dude, the team guys are coming out, bro.
All right.
Team guys are coming out.
I would hope so, but
yeah, you do have some pretty crazy Russian bloc, Eastern Bloc guys, though.
Yeah, that's good shit. Well, thanks again for coming, man. It's such a far trip, and I know not a short one with 12, 13, 14-hour flight.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a long flight. Is it straight from Dallas to fucking Paris or what?
I went Frankfurt. I went through Frankfurt to Dallas.
Yeah. Again, can't thank you enough for the listener. Two things. One, I hope that you enjoyed his story. If you didn't, feel free to choke yourself. But on a serious note, I mean, you guys tuning in show after show and showing all the love and support for the channel is why we have the ability to bring guests like Taylor here and be able to share incredible stories like this. So I do wholeheartly and truly appreciate your guys' support. I mean, it's been almost 6 years now that Mic Drop has been an entity, and I'm thankful every day to be able to get to do this, and I'm not lost or naive on that. So thank you for all you guys. And last but certainly not least, we got a parting gift for you here.
Oh, man.
Got the standard challenge coin, which is no surprise, but also in the box, if you can open that and show it to the camera quick.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can throw that on the Legionnaire uniform, but that'd be pretty awesome. So,
dude, let's do it.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you again for coming. Sure appreciate it. Oh, I forgot to ask the turkey teeth real quick. When did that happen within this whole...
Man, dude, when I was kind of on that break this last year, because I knew I was going to do it for years. Since I was a child, man, I knew I was doing it.
Yeah.
So, and then I just had a little break in the action, man. We pumped out there.
Yeah. From France?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, this is Mic Drop.